It's January 27th, 2025. That is a mouthful, but I am at thedrillpearl.com on Blue Sky. That's even more of a mouthful. And it's time to get in the weeds. It's a wonderful, marvelous Monday morning, sunny here in Toronto, cold with wind gusts because we do the weather now every time we do this show. That's just what we do. It's a morning show. Jeremy Lambert is here as he always is. And yes, indeedy, we are going to be having a fun show. How you doing, Jeremy?
You know what else is a mouthful, Joel?
Go on.
These Pringles that I've been snacking on.
Hashtag not an ad.
I just showed the Pringles. I can show the can. I can't fit my hand inside of the Pringles can.
Really?
Make it wider. Just make it wider, Pringles. That's all.
Just cut a hole in the can.
What does that accomplish if you cut a hole in a can?
Well, if you cut a hole in the side, you might be able to, open it up more, kind of bloom it a little bit.
But then, all your Pringles spill out.
It sounds like a Pringles problem.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I agree.
Oh, good. Making sure.
Yeah, okay.
How was your weekend?
I don't know.
No, you just kind of sat around, did nothing?
Watched wrestling and watched other alleged fixed sports. Cried over Miko Rantanen being traded.
It's a big deal. Yeah. That was a big deal for the Avs.
Yeah.
Did you get anyone comparable in the trade?
Marty Necas. I'm gonna screw up his name a lot.
You'll learn it eventually. It's fine.
Yeah, he's Czechoslovakian, and I'm terrible with names. He's good. We played 2 games over the weekend. We won 1, lost the other. Considering the trade happened, this was my SmackDown. I was focused on this Miko Rantanen trade. It came down to 8:30 on Friday night, and I was allegedly covering SmackDown or not supposed to be covering SmackDown. Who can tell anymore what my role entails with these things? But I was covering SmackDown, and I was just stunned by this trade. So my mind was elsewhere during SmackDown. I was just kind of parsing my way through all of that, and and played a game on Saturday. When you trade for a guy who is then on your top line and you get no practice time, the results were about as expected, but things went better on Sunday, and we'll see how it goes moving forward. I noticed that too, Cyclops Better Wolverine. Very, very black. I got an M&M hoodie. That's what I'm rocking here. Joel just wears black shirts because
it's just what I do.
Yeah. I
have black V-necks. I have a gray V-neck that I've worn on this show before. It washes me out more. I'm already white. Okay. I'm already quite white. And then the sunlight coming in from my windows in front of me make me even more pale. So we just put the fun in funeral. It's fine. I am a metal guy, but I mean, I believe in wearing shirts that aren't all black.
Is there a fun in funeral? Is that a real thing?
Yeah. Some people have celebrations of life. Some people do that. Some people are, when they die, they're just I want everyone to be sad for me. I want them to celebrate when I was here. There's some people who do that. There's some cultures that go all out, do a whole production, do a carnival setting.
Yeah.
When I die, by the way, I will never use spray tan.
Spray tan.
Yeah. Keep in mind, it's winter here. So when it's summertime, I spend a lot of time outside walking around, do my thing. Now it's bloody cold, so I have almost zero interest in going out unless I need to, and the sun is very rarely appearing. Today is a different day for that.
When I die, everyone just stay home. Just stay home. That's all I ask.
What about you? Will you stay home for that?
I'll be dead, Joel.
Well, some people bring the body, they put it on the table and in a some sort of presentational format. They do that. I believe that's called a wake. It's a traditional Irish thing.
Nah, just toss me into an ocean. It'll be fine.
Ryan's in the chat saying, in my will, I have it to where my funeral is a roast of me with an open bar. That's a celebration.
Respect that.
Yeah, have fun with it. We Jews, we do it weird. The person dies, we get them in the ground as fast as we can. 7 days. People come and visit. It's a community thing. People bring food.
What?
It's nice. Yeah, it's a community thing. People they come and they support. They bring food, and the Shiva is a big thing where like you come and you visit with the party of the deceased, and you just you just hang out. It basically takes your mind off of it for a few hours at a time, and then afterwards, depending on who died, you got 11 months of what's called saying Kaddish, which is a mourner's prayer. So I'm in that. I'm almost done that. That's for 11 months minus 1 day, if you really want to get into the Jewish lore. So like mid-March is when I'm done with that. And I'm like starting to count down the days, Jeremy, because my morning routine of waking up at 6 a.m. to go to synagogue is starting to wear on me. I'm tired. I didn't do it today though. I'm supposed to do it every day, but I'm not. I take time off sometimes.
Okay.
Not from this show though. I'm always here. 100% always here. Never missed a show.
Nah, you run from the grind, Joel.
Damn
Everyone knows that.
I thought you were going to let me get away with it.
Nah.
Fine. Let's get away with this then. Leave
To show Joel out here running from the grind as usual.
I'll do 3 this week just for you guys. Just for you guys. Leave a thumbs up and maybe I'll do more in the future. But leave a thumbs up. Go ahead. Come on. Do it. Get it.
What are you talking about? Do more in the future? We're doing 5 days a week starting next week, and you're not on 2 of them.
I could be. All I have to do is show up, and then all of a sudden it's a 3-man booth, and show goes 4 hours.
And we're not doing that. I don't want to do that.
We'll talk about that off air.
What I asked you to do.
We're gonna start doing We're gonna start doing the top goals.
Yeah. What is this?
So for those
we have an on-air meeting.
I mean, we don't have to, but I mean, we do like to involve our chat. Let me finish the spiel. Subscribe to the channel.
Okay.
Let the thumbs up. Do the subscribe. That's good. So this is actually a good idea because we're talking about super chats. You leave one and it gets your question or statement read on the air, and of course, it supports us here on the channel, and we appreciate that. You guide the conversation with it. We love that. There's also this thing on YouTube called Top Goals where you can set goals now, and Twitch has been doing this forever, where you can do like hype trains and everything. With this, you can set a goal where you can do super chat goal where like if you get 5, 10, 15, whatever denomination and whatever amount people are giving, you can base it on that. And then the goal, you do something for the chat, for your community. I don't know what that is. I'm willing to open it up to our community, to our chat, to our people. And yeah, we tend to do pretty well with super chats. So I figured why not have a little fun with that? Don't know what that looks like though. I pitched an idea. You weren't a big fan of it. It was also late at night, so I was tired. So we'll find a new one.
Well, we'll come up with some ideas. I needed time to think about it. You pitched something last night where I had already, as I messaged you, shit my brain off was my direct message.
Ironically, that's what I was doing too.
So, yeah, I wasn't in a thinking mode last night when you sent this message. We'll figure stuff out. Here's one thing that I do want to announce. Joel doesn't even know about this. We did it last year, but it was kind of hastily thrown together last year. It still worked out. It actually worked out really good, but we kind of did it day of. We're going to do something a little bit different this year. The Rumble is this weekend, as people may or may not know. Allegedly, the Royal Rumble is this weekend. What we did last year is we had people in the chat just say Rumble, and they got an entry into our little Rumble giveaway. So we're going to do the same thing this year. So what we did last year was, but this time we're going to kind of do it in an all week thing, and I'll explain how this works. All you got to do, if you want like a guaranteed, this is sort of what we did last year, but we're going to expand it all week this year. If you want like a guaranteed spot in this Rumble, send a super chat. Any amount. I don't get 99 cents. Don't care. 99 cents will get you the guaranteed entry into it. And that's going to be, so today you can do that. Wednesday you can do that. Friday you can do that. Whatever spots are left on Friday, that's just where it's going to be an open to whoever's around, and then you can get in. So if you want to wait until Friday and take your chance that 30 spots aren't going to fill up, then you can take your chance on Friday. If you want to guarantee a spot in this thing, send a super chat, put Rumble in the super chat, something like that. I don't know, hashtag Rumble, hashtag ITW Rumble. I should probably like have a uniformulaic. That's a word, right? Uniformic?
I think you're using
uniformic a word?
I don't think so.
We did this before, and I was proven correct.
Uniformic is a store. It's a brand. It's not
Close enough.
Uniformity is a word, but what are you trying to? What's the point of your?
I don't know.
Because like formularity, you were using formularity and formularic. Uniformity. Are you trying to make
maybe uniformity? Yeah. Well, yeah. Like we need to have like an actual hashtag so I know if people are going to use the hashtag in their super chat, that gets them into the Rumble, because some people just may want to send super chats, but they don't want to be in the Rumble thing. So we need a hashtag to put in the super chats so we know they want into the
great hashtag ITW Rumble.
Okay,
look at that, we did it. Great meeting. Could have been an email.
Okay, so hashtag ITW Rumble. All right, so there you go. Rumble. Hashtag Rumble. All right.
Team Gray is already declaring for the ITW Rumble. Perfect. See,
that gets you a guaranteed spot in there. So I'm going to go ahead and put down Kim and Louie. I assume Louie wants it. Maybe he doesn't. I don't know.
Louie, I mean, he didn't put the ITW in there. So, look at that. Like Volub too. Like, come on, man. ITW. Hashtag ITW. Oh, it's fine. Volub's in it too.
Okay. All right. So yeah, use the hashtag in your super chat so I know to enter you. It covers both Rumbles, Ryan. So what we did last year, we're going to do the same thing this year. On Friday, we will pick a number and you get that number for both Rumbles. So if you get the random number of 5, you get 5 for the women's Rumble and the men's Rumble. If your person wins, we will get you something off of WWE or AEW shop within reason. We're not buying $300 championship title belts. All right. Sorry, everybody. Like you get a shirt, you want a coffee mug. We got to put some type of like limit on this, like a $40 limit or something like that. So, something within reason that you can get off of WWE AEW shop. No championship belts. We'll cut it. What's like the most shirts are like $30, right?
Yeah, give or take.
Okay. So yeah. We'll say it's like a $40 limit. That way it covers like 30, or that way it covers like t-shirts. And if you want something that's not like a t-shirt that's, $40 or whatever, then we'll make it work. So that's what it is. Last year we did last year somebody won, and I think they got a Kevin Owens shirt, and then the other person who won didn't want anything, so we donated the money to Nami. I still get emails from Nami of like, hey, here's your good time to donate. Mental health is very important. Like, I agree with you, Nami. I agree. So
what else is a good time? The unsubscribe button on your email chains.
Well, I like getting those emails. That's a good cause.
That's fine. Sometimes when you make a donation, you're just like, I did my job. I appreciate what you do. I don't need to be kept up on everything you do. I can always go to your website and find out.
Yeah, well, I still get the emails. Okay, so we got Kim, we got Louie, we got Vala. Who'd I miss? Bargov.
Yeah, let's
Matthew Hooks. Okay.
Jules is in with ITW Rumble. Ken, ITW Rumble, Young Man Rumble. Thank you. Vala sent another one. You didn't have to. I appreciate that you did. We always appreciate you. So ITW Rumble, Matthew Hooks, ITW Rumble. Also, could you make one AEW/WWE trade? I'm confused how that worked.
I would trade all the good wrestlers from one company for all the bad wrestlers from one company.
Good idea.
Take your pick on which way.
Your favorite or my favorite? I would send Deanna back to WWE.
That's Matthew Hooks. B. Eric is in. You would send Deanna back to WWE.
I'd send Deanna back to WWE.
They've got so many. Bargov. Okay.
B. Eric, you mentioned. Of course, Pal Grays is in there.
Grays. Okay.
Shout out to you.
I've got 1, 2. I should probably like number them that way.
Miz in AEW is just a hilarious idea. Just great. By the way, did we talk about? Okay, I can't remember if you and I talked about. We talked about the Pestek interview, the Tom Pestek, FKA Baron Corbin interview with Chris Van Vliet. Did we talk about his reasoning for not running over to AEW or wanting to run? Did we talk about that on the air, or is it just we have an article up on? Okay, we have an article up on Fightful. Yeah. I know that much. And I was reading the transcript, and I thought that was a really insightful view on why he's not rushing to AEW. He basically said, I don't want to be viewed as another WWE guy coming over. I want to establish myself elsewhere before I even make that decision. So I do appreciate that, because some of the pushback that people are giving to AEW right now, especially when it comes to like the tag team division, was like you just had Lashley and Shelton jump over and reboot Hurt Business and Hurt Syndicate. Now they got the tag titles. It's like some people have pushed back. I personally, I don't care, but the idea that like they just bring in WWE guys, people keep pushing on that. And I think for someone like Tom Pestek to come out there and just openly say, if I'm offered, I'd rather establish myself first. I think that's pretty good. I like that.
I agree. I also, is he being offered anything?
But that's the other thing. If you're given the money, sometimes you just take the money. I get it. That's the other side of it.
It's kind of like, is he being offered anything? Like, and if he was being offered something, then would he actually like stick to that? That's a very much a we want you, but we don't actually want you. Like, I don't want to work for McDonald's. All right, well, is McDonald's offering you a job? Because if they're not, then who cares if you want to work for McDonald's or not? I get his point. Like, I understand his point of like, yeah, I don't want to just go there, get lost in the shuffle, be just another WWE guy. Like, it's admirable, but like, as AEW presented him with a contract offer? Because if not, then who cares? And I liked Pestak. I thought the interview was really great. I thought he was fantastic in that interview. But again, if he's not being offered anything anyway, I'm glad that's his reasoning. But if there's no actual offer there, then it's like, oh, okay, that's a good reason. But like, we're not actually offering you anything anyway.
Hear me out. The New Japan Cup starts March 7th.
Yeah.
Put him in the New Japan Cup.
He made it very clear he wanted to do like New Japan and stuff. Like, he was definitely pushing for like, yeah, I want to do New Japan. So we'll see if they make him some type of an offer. Yeah, like, again, I think he wants to do certain things, but who's offering him stuff? I don't know.
Gonna offer him a big deal.
He might.
Bishop Dyer's holding the 10 pounds of gold.
Bro, his reasoning ruled. Well, Bishop is higher than a Baron, and Dyer like Dire Wolf. Like, okay. All right.
This was my whole thing with when they did the not the Royal Rumble, the King of the Ring, the year that he won. I sat there. I was in my seat at Raw. They were in Toronto when they announced the King of the Ring, and I was like, oh, Baron Corbin is winning this, because I just saw it the writers' room. Vince McMahon sitting there and just being like, why have a Baron when you can have a king? You know, and then that was it. that moment was like, that's it. He's doing it. He's gonna win, and he did. So he just took that same idea and recycled it. Good for him. Did you see this from Stephen Goff, by the way, who writes for Washington Post Soccer? MLS Productions will move to WWE. Sorry, let me try that again. MLS Productions, that's soccer, will move to WWE headquarters in Stamford, Connecticut. WWE's brand new state-of-the-art production facility, The Studios at WWE, featuring best-in-class production offerings and new cutting-edge technology to further elevate the production of MLS Season Pass. Soccer going to wrestling. They're not working together. They're just working in their house. But that's a thing that's happening.
Yeah, I saw it at 8:15 this morning when I wrote the article, Joel.
Why were you up that early? Why weren't you sleeping it?
I'm talking about why was I sleeping? I wish I was still sleeping.
Well, then go back to bed.
I can't. I got to do this.
Seems like you should just go back to bed.
Nah, I tried to fall asleep. I tried to take a nap before this show. I couldn't fall asleep.
Well, maybe you should just go back to sleep then.
All right, you want to just stop this show so I can sleep?
Could we?
I mean, theoretically, sure.
Let's not do that. People still watch soccer. Amazingly, somebody still does. MLS, TNA, WWE Worlds Collide. That is the answer right there. Zeno Hours got it.
There's like some top names that play in MLS, right? Ain't Beckham still there? Right? He still plays, doesn't he?
No, wasn't it? That was a whole thing. Like, he went to the LA team, the Inter Miami in 2014.
Yeah, sure.
He
went to LA. He went to LA, didn't he?
Okay, no. He owns Inter Miami.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna say he
They
played for
began-
the Galaxy.
Yeah, the Galaxy. That was the team. Yeah, Beckham is part owner of a team.
Yeah.
They began playing in 2020. Great year, that 2020. Trying to see if there's anything else about the Inter Miami. How are they? Are they a good team? Who knows? Who knows? It's MLS. I know that Toronto has a team. I have friends that follow and support them. I just never really watched much.
Yeah, next
week is the first full week of ITW. It's not this week. We kick things off with a main channel Monday, and then the rest of the week we're live on this channel, pal. Tell your friends about main channel Monday. That's our Monday takeover of the main Fightful channel. It's going to be Jeremy and I talking about Royal Rumble Fallout and so much more. But for now, it's the week before. We have to do a whole lot of stuff. Where do you want to start?
I don't know.
Tom Pestek going to New Japan. I'm just kidding.
Is that what we're going to talk about?
We already went there. We already talked about it.
Okay.
Tom Pestek in MLS. He's going to be a Major League Soccer star, or he's going to be selling listings because he's going to become a realtor. MLS is a realtor. That's how I know it.
Is it?
Yep.
I was thinking of the MLW character. I keep every time like I was doing this article this morning, I kept typing MLS as MLW because I'm so used to just typing MLW. I was like, that would be an unfortunate mistake to make. I'd probably get in trouble over that one of MLW moving to the studios at WWE. Like, oh boy, that is big news.
Took that $20 million and reinvested it in the competition that paid them. Let's go.
Yeah, so I had to like double check myself that I did not write MLW multiple times when typing MLS.
I don't know if I would like to see Conrad Thompson and Tom Pestek do a podcast together. Ken Bruno's mentioning that. I don't know if that's what I want to see in my life.
We don't need everybody doing a podcast with Conrad, you know, like, and Pestek's still very active. It's not like most of these Conrad podcasts are. I mean, I guess Jared is still very active, but these are guys who've been in the business for 20, 30 years at this point. They are there weekly. Like Shivani's there weekly. Jim Ross is there weekly. Well, not Jim Ross. He was there on Collision, but he's typically not there weekly. But they're not like on screen wrestling every single week like Pestek may want to do. Like he's still an active performer. Like you wouldn't see, and Pestek's doing independent stuff now, but I don't think you would see a Kenny Omega do a weekly like kind of podcast. It'd be fantastic, but he didn't even do like Twitch streams anymore. That becomes just tiring of things. And Pestek's got stories, but like he doesn't have 30 years worth of stories.
I love that Ken thinks that we were attacking this as if we were serious. No, it's fun, it's silly, it's stupid. Because I do agree. People in the chat are saying like less wrestling podcasts. Yes, absolutely. If we could delete ours, we would, but we're contractually obligated to do this. I would absolutely do the Conrad Tom Pestek show and call it Grillin' Tom. Just watch Jim Ross get real pissed off about it. We got two grilling shows. What are we doing here, Conrad? Oh, yours is behind the paywall, and this one is not. Make Grillin' Tom a reality. Just do a Grillin' YouTube show. That's fine. Him and Google team up.
He's already like doing stuff like that. I don't know about if he's doing like YouTube, but like he's already doing stuff like that. He wants to be on Master Chef. I think it'd be fantastic if they could make that happen.
Dude, him and Nick DiGiovanni should partner up because Nick was a runner-up. He was a runner-up on Master Chef. Master Chef or Hell's Kitchen. One of the other. One of the idiot sandwich shows. He did it.
I'll take your word for it. I don't know.
He's a big YouTuber now, Nick DiGiovanni. But yeah, people say we need to get busted open, canceled. I don't want to cancel them. I just want to overtake them. I like a lot of their people.
Name the people you like and the people you don't like.
I like Denise. I like La Greca. And there are wrestlers on the show.
Thunder Rosa, you want to give thoughts on her?
She looked very nice on Collision with her new tag team partner.
Tag team partner? They're facing each other.
Yeah, and eventually tag team partners face each other.
This is your bit for everybody. You're like, they're just gonna face each other and become tag team partners.
Yeah, exactly. That's fine. We can take Denise. Do you mean physically? I don't know. But she's a fighter. She can really.
Scrappy.
She's scrappy. That's true. We've met her enough times. We know her to be
short though. Yeah,
yeah. You could do the thing where you just like the kids, just do that. That would work. But like, feels like it would be a problem. I would love to do a busted open ITW collab, but this is when I say it out loud, it always feels weird because we are not in the same space as they are in many different ways. Like we are part of Fightful. We do things very differently than like a Busted Open does. We present differently than Busted Open does, multiple planes. But also like they have many years ahead of us. I will never get that twisted. They are a 15-year going show on Sirius XM. Like they have that machine behind them. We're different. They're famous. We are here. I want to see Jeremy and David LaGreca scream at each other. I just want to see that. That's all. It's just a big screaming fest. But no, I'd love to work with them, but I also don't want to make it sound like we're going to use them for clout, because that's not it. We are all on similar planes in terms of our wrestling fandom and the work that we do, but like theirs is just a little bit different than ours because of the machine that's behind them and the amount of time they've put into this. But I like them.
I think they do a good job. I never say anything, I don't care for our opinions. So I don't always care for like their opinions on booking. But I think like as far as interviews goes and as far as just like entertainment, I think they do a good job.
So what pre-show are we going to host?
NWA, brother. We've already decided that, right? We already know our payment as well.
Why can't we do an MLW hot seat or whatever? What was that thing called?
Oh yeah.
Remember that when they brought in? Yeah. What was it? Anyone in the chat, if you remember the MLW, it was called something like with a bunch of industry people.
Was it just MLW Insiders? Didn't they just call it all Insiders?
No, it wasn't that. It had to be something different.
Not?
MLW Insider?
Yeah, it's just MLW Insider.
Was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was something else.
Nah, I mean maybe it was, but they did that MLW Insider. There was that pre-show thing. I'm pretty sure it's just MLW Insider.
I think you're right. Like I'm seeing it MLW Insider.
Yeah.
Yeah, Insider. Maybe it was that. That's their newsletter.
There was also like a show.
Yeah, I remember the show. There was somebody who was on it that I can't remember who it was. Oh man, it was
Alicia was on it. Alicia too.
Alicia was on it, but there was somebody else that come on, the Grapsity guys just had him on. Oh my god, he worked for WWE. He does a YouTube show now where he does yoga. He produced Renee's podcast. I'm blanking on his name. Come on.
Emilio,
thank you. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Emilio was part of that.
Was he? I don't think he was on air.
No, I'm pretty sure he did one of those.
Okay.
Doesn't matter. The point is they had it, and now I just can't remember what the actual name was. If it wasn't Insiders. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it was Emilio Sparks. Yeah, love Emilio. I just can't believe I just blanked on his name for a good solid minute. Thanks, Cam and Jeremy. Let's get to this one. Ryan Adams saying, speaking of funerals, WWE 2K25 with a Dead Man edition just announced. The Undertaker is going to be part of the 2K25 game on a special edition cover. Are you going to buy it? Is it going to interrupt you after your biggest title win and then drive around in his big old motorcycle and have you do an entrance with him?
They've already got like 15 different versions of The Undertaker in the games anyway. Like, what is the Dead Man edition? I'm just going to need more details on it. And whatever the details are, I don't care enough about The Undertaker to get this special edition. I'll probably get the regular version, and that'll hold me over for as long as it needs to. And that's that. Like, I think last year's game was good, but I didn't play it a ton. And so I don't really have a whole lot of desire or interest to buy this year's game, especially not special editions. I don't like any of the special edition stuff because I don't feel the rewards are really that great. Because most of the rewards are just like, you get some DLC stuff, which fine, but then they they do the My Faction stuff, which is the same as like the My Team stuff in NBA 2K, and I don't play those modes at all. I do not care about like the My Faction mode. So I don't care about like the virtual currency that you get and things like that. So typically with these like deluxe edition games, I just don't care about the stuff that you get rewarded or the stuff like that comes in the deluxe edition. I just like kind of just the base game, and if I get DLC, I'll get the DLC.
I'm not the biggest player of these games anymore. Again, like everyone who talks about No Mercy and you know WWE Revenge, that's like those were my times. I played Here Comes the Pain and all the PS2 games. Like I got to a point where I was just over it. You and I used to play a lot of these games. We played a lot of the older games. Like the WrestleMania 18 game was fantastic. Then 19 was okay. But I don't know. I get that there is a lane for a lot of people who are big fans of the 2K25 or just the 2K series, and you always have to do a special edition. Taker hasn't done a special edition, so I guess they got to do it. Someone in the chat mentioned doing a Mean Mark DLC, which is hilarious. But yeah, I don't know. The only Undertaker fan, yeah, they all want the purple glove Taker. That's it. Purple Donald Glover Taker, right? Glover in the chat. Anyway, yeah, I don't know. It's early days. This is tonight on Raw. They're going to be doing some sort of 2K immersion because Roman Reigns is back. He said he'd be back. When he closed the door saying he'd be back, there was a 2K25 logo on the door. So it's fairly, I read the tea leaves, feels like they're going to do something, especially announcing something, you know, for 2K25 this morning. They'll probably have some sort of inclusion. Who's going to be the front of the thing? Is it Roman? The cover art guy.
Yeah, I assume it's Roman. Like I thought that was the whole tease a couple weeks ago. Is they were basically teasing him being on the cover.
Could you imagine if it's Solo instead?
I can't imagine that because I don't think it's going to happen. So no.
Should be Jacob Fatu. He comes out and he says, "This is my game."
That'd actually rule.
I mean, he might. He was dominant enough on Saturday, making Braun Strowman bleed his own capsulated blood.
Yeah, that was a good segment.
That was good. They had him do the moonsault over and over and over again too. That's a hard setup to do. Just to have it go up to the top rope and then do it again and again and again. Like, good on him. And Fatu clearly, like, A, understood the assignment, and B, he's got the stamina. He's got the gas because, like, he just worked a very fast-paced or, you know, big man fast-paced, you know, match. And then he's got to go and do these moonsaults over and over, get to the top, do the move, climb out, go back in. Like, just, it was a big, there was a lot that went into it, which is funny to me. It was a really good segment, though, with Strowman and Fatu.
It got Jacob over as a babyface, which I don't think was the point of
They
all
had to
of
see it
though.
coming. They had to have seen that coming.
Yeah.
The man's got the crowd chanting Fatu, like he did it to them. Thought you were going to add something to that.
No.
Speed Punk asking you guys going to play that Ultra Pro Wrestling game when it comes out. They already said OVW DLC.
Hasn't that game been like in development for like 5 years?
Give or take.
There's been a lot of games that have been in development for a while. I feel like we've done like roster updates on some of these games for a long time now. And I feel like it's the Ultra Pro Wrestling. I think even Cardona was like, is this game ever going to get released? Like, I know it takes a while with this stuff. I'm not saying like rush it, get it out there, but until like some of this stuff gets released, it's very hard for me to actually get like excited for it. Like, at least with WWE 2K, you say what you will about it, but like, you know, outside of the 1 year they took off because the previous game sucked so bad, like, you know, you're going to get it every year. So at least you know what you're getting with it. I don't know when these other games are going to come out, if they're ever going to come out. Like, I hope they do. I think they'll be cool to have when they do. I'll give them a shot. But until it's in front of me, I don't put a whole lot of thought or effort or energy into thinking about it.
AEW Fight Forever is still $39.99 over on the Switch. Ryan Adams says cover star released tonight, probably Roman, and all the details released on Tuesday. Well, there you go. If that's what happens,
Yeah, I think that was their big tease of everything. So yeah, that makes sense.
what if Paul Heyman is actually the cover artist?
You know what? Like, I don't think Paul Heyman. Here's the thing. I don't think like a cover is that big of a deal. And maybe it's just me, but like I don't think being on the cover of these games is like that huge. I think for the wrestlers it is, and I think it's a cool thing if for like an athlete to do it nowadays. So, or not nowadays, like always. It's always been like a cool little feather in their cap. So for them, I get it. I think it's like cool for them. So I don't want to take that away. Like for me as like a buyer now, it's not a big deal because I don't buy physical copies of games anymore. Everything I do is just digital download at this point. Like it was cool back in the day. Like, oh, you go to the store and oh, look, Joe Sakic's on the cover, or you know, whoever on Madden, Michael Vick's on the cover. So like that was cool back in the day for me as a buyer to have like the different collections in the physical case of it. But because I don't do the physical case anymore, the cover athlete isn't all that important to me. But it's a cool accolade for the actual wrestlers. So I'm not gonna take that away for them.
That's fair. Tenru's also adding a super chat. He's in the ITW Rumble.
We'll got you, Tenru's. You're in. We've got 10 people in the ITW Rumble right now, so 20 spots are still available.
Hell of a spot to be in. Someone had asked about the Madden cover curse and the WWE cover curse. I was just thinking about that. I was looking at all the people who have been on the covers over the last little while. Last year it was the double. It was the Cody and then the Bianca and Rhea. And I'm pretty sure those three have done okay from last year.
Yeah, they've had a good year.
Yeah, John Cena 2K23. I mean, he wasn't really around in 24, but you know,
he made a lot of money, so I feel like he did okay.
Rey Mysterio in 22. How was the rest of his year?
Did they win the tag titles that year? He beat Dom's ass at WrestleMania, didn't he?
That was 23.
Oh, all right.
That was 23. Yeah.
Okay.
Before that, they did Battleground. We don't count that. 2K20 was Roman and Becky. I think they've done okay for themselves.
Yeah, they were fine during the pandemic. That was when Roman reinvented himself, and Becky took time off because she got pregnant. So that's a win.
Yeah, I mean, but you got to talk about the career parts.
Well, she wasn't. She didn't do a whole lot during the career because she took time off that year.
I know. The joke is there. She returned at Alliance Stadium though. Allegiant. Sorry, Allegiant Stadium. Yeah. I was there too when she made a return at SummerSlam in 2021. This is, I believe, her return to Allegiant since her 2021 return, and that's an opportunity there. You can tell that story because she came back, surprised a lot of people because that was the beginning of the heel turn. Her and Bianca had that 4-second squash match that got a lot of people in their feels. I wonder what they'll do with that. I wonder if they'll play any attention to her returning to that particular venue. Made her famous at the time.
Well, she's not booked. She's not booked for WrestleMania. We don't know if she's going to be on WrestleMania.
It's true, not yet. We'll see where the cards fly. 2K19 was AJ Styles. How was his 2019? Is that okay? Did okay?
You can't expect me to remember this kind of stuff, Joel.
Rollins in 18, Brock 17, Austin in 2016. Big year he had. I don't know if the Madden cover curse really covers WWE.
Well, it's a whole lot different because, like, unless it's injuries, which I think someone pointed out, like, well, Rhea got injured last year. All right, she still did pretty well for herself despite the injuries. She still had a big time WrestleMania match that she won. She held the title for a good chunk of the year. You know, she had the title to kind of start the year, held it until Mania, lost it, but then was always involved in the television, got the title back in January before the next cover athlete. Like she did fine. So
she worked the major shows too. She worked Rumble, she worked Mania, she didn't work Money in the Bank, did she? But that didn't count because she was champion at the time.
SummerSlam, Survivor Series.
SummerSlam and Survivor Series. So like she ended up having a pretty good year, all things considered.
Yeah.
She just took some time off because she was injured, that's for sure. But she kept coming back. It's what a cyborg does, and that's what she is. So anyway, what should we talk a little bit about these WrestleMania women's matches that Fightful Select started reporting on over the last few days? She is part of that. First one that came up was, I got to open it again. It was Rhea Ripley and Bianca Belair has been discussed as a possible WrestleMania match. Those two have been largely kept off screen, except for little teases here and there. They both have wanted to work together. This is a fan favorite match that's been on the table. But yeah, Fightful Select reporting that there have been conversations about Bianca versus Rhea. You saw this news. We've talked about it a little bit. What do you think of this whole thing?
I think it makes sense if that's where they're going to go. Now, one of them could win the Rumble. Bianca would be the Rumble winner, I guess, since Rhea is the champion right now. And then we'll see if that's what happens.
How do you get Bianca Belair to a position of... it's not even a heat up because she's still hot. Like, she's still very much a fan favorite, but she hasn't been a big single star this year, right? She's been working the tag circuit. Her and Jade Cargill have been doing that. They've also had the Whodunit with Jade Cargill. Does this split them off for the time being if they go into a match like this? How does that all play together? Because clearly the return of Jade Cargill is going to be a part of the Bianca Belair story regardless.
I think you do a Bianca heel turn.
Okay, I'm listening. This isn't we like both women, therefore have a good match. You want a baby face and a heel in this match.
Yeah. I think you do a Bianca heel turn and you have her as the mastermind of the hit on Jade Cargill. And now maybe it's Naomi was also working with her on that, and that is how they kind of stay together as a team. Or maybe it's not. Maybe because Bianca was in the ring when the Jade attack happened. So it could not have been Bianca unless she did it before she went out to the ring and then they discovered her body while she was in the ring. But Bianca doing a heel turn is just, it's different. Like, and she's talked about it. When has she been a heel? Like, she
NXT.
really hasn't. Yeah, NXT. But main roster, she really hasn't done that. And I don't know if she wants to do it. I know Montez has talked about like he really wants to do it and the crowd just didn't take to it. But I think it could be something different. Bianca's good enough to where you can get the fans to be upset at her. Like she's a good enough character. And the EST thing is it's a hateable gimmick if you want it to be hateable. Just bragging about how much better you are than everybody. Again, very hateable gimmick if you want it to be. Like right now, she's so charming that it works in a babyface faction, but you can make it work as a heel character as well. I don't know about two baby faces just kind of we like each other and this is just gonna be all about respect type of thing. There's gotta be something to the Jade attack is the thing. Like there's just gotta be something to it. And maybe there's not, I don't know, but it feels like there's gotta be something. So whenever Jade comes back, they've got to figure out who is the heel that benefits from that. And maybe it's nobody. Maybe Jade comes back and I'll just throw a random name out there. Maybe let's say it's B-Fab is the heel. And they just decide to squash B-Fab off of it. Jade comes back and she is just still larger than life, still superhero, destroys B-Fab. And it's like, well, you didn't actually get anything out of this big old heel turn. Or it might be an established heel. Maybe it's an established heel that they already have, Piper. And Jade just squashes Piper. But it feels like you can get a decent heel out of this Jade attack. Now, whether or not they decide to do that is we shall see if they have any type of follow-up with this Jade attack, considering it's been like 2 months now and the leads are dead.
Couldn't get the footage from the damn offload truck area where she got attacked. Oh, it hurts me. There's so many cameras in that area. I need to know who's paying off whom to keep that footage a secret. It's like, oh, they weren't working that day. The cameras were off. And we did that at the request of somebody. Nick Aldis attacked Jake.
Yeah, they haven't put a whole lot of thought into this. That's why.
Where's GTV when you need them? He
I don't have a
resigned.
whole,
Damn it.
that's why I don't have a whole lot of hope with this, because just they haven't put too much effort into it. So why am I going to pretend to put a bunch of effort into it? Again, like they can have something come out of this. Who said Roxanne? Gray saying Roxanne. Maybe Roxanne gives her a reason to move to SmackDown. And you can make somebody out of this. It's just a matter of, do they want to make somebody? And if you do make somebody, you got to think Jade's coming back and probably destroying them. So you kind of got to be careful of who you make and how they're presented. This is why I think Bianca can actually be safe from this, because I don't think they're just going to have, if it's Bianca ain't just going to get destroyed by Jade. Bianca can actually come out of this looking good and maybe even beat Jade when she comes back. I've been saying Jade just needs to take the loss, and then it doesn't have to hang over their head of like, oh, she's still unbeaten. If Bianca can beat Jade and almost say, hey, yeah, this is why I turned on you. Like, you were holding me back. I needed to get rid of you to elevate myself, get back to where I belong in the main event. Beats Jade, goes on, faces Rhea for the title, and then that'd be that.
I keep getting caught up in the footage, because it really does feel like this is one thing. If I'm in a writer's room and I know where the attack happened, I'm pushing back and saying it happened at a loading dock. Every loading dock you've ever seen in your lifetime has security cameras. You have to place some sort of footage. That's why putting people in there like Roxanne Perez, someone saying Jordan Grace, like there are people that you can't just put in there again. I mean, you could restage it, you could, but it wouldn't be as to me, it's like you got to show that footage. Now, when it comes to Bianca and the potential of a heel turn, I know that's been a big ongoing conversation. Bianca's made reference to not wanting to, and other people have talked about it. She's also she's incredibly popular. Like she really is amongst, young women, and a lot of, not just young women, but like she fancies herself a role model, similar to the John Cena kind of conversation, where for years everyone was waiting for that heel turn, waiting for John Cena to go bad again. But they didn't do it because multiple reasons. John Cena was the hero. He was the merch grabber. He was getting the big deals, and he was going the right direction for that. Bianca is in a similar role. She is undeniably nice on camera. And also, and I'm not just talking on TV, like her interviews as well. She's a very personable woman. She's a very nice person. I don't know if turning her would be helpful for anything. I mean, I think it would freshen up her character, because like you said, they've only presented her in one way ever since she started up in WWE. And also, or since she started on main roster, I would like to see her take that turn, because it would give a refresh to a character that has kind of turned stale in its own way. She's often a kind of a caricature of the way she came in. She comes out, she twirls the braid, she does the turn. Like it's almost robotic. And that's something that people gave Charlotte Flair shit about for years. And we'll talk about Charlotte in a little bit, because that's the other match. But with Bianca, yeah, the idea of maybe turning her heel could go a long way in getting her character to a new level, to a new direction. Looking at Roman Reigns and what happened with him for a long time, still not wanting to turn him. And then they did, and look where they're at now. You could do that with Bianca. It allows you to build your character in a new and a different way, see them in a different light, present them differently. She doesn't have to do the long braid all the time if she doesn't want to.
She should use it more and whip people with it more often.
That was the NXT. That was the NXT baddie version of her. If she wants to present differently, you can do that and just be like, I cut my hair. That's what Bayley did, right? She slashes the Bayley buddy, she cut her hair, and everyone's like, whoa, she's different. You could do that with Bianca, but that's a physical. It's going to come down to how she speaks and how she does what she does. And people are saying, NXT Bianca was the best version. She had a presentation. She had I hate using the word aura because everyone uses that word, but she did. She had something to her that people really they got attracted to. I would like to see something like that grow from this current Bianca presentation, Rhea Ripley is Rhea Ripley. Like, she is established the way she is. You do not need to turn her or mess with that character for now, because it's pretty well, it's good. It's seated. Let it happen. But yeah, I would love to see, if we're going to do Bianca and Rhea at WrestleMania, I want to see Bianca be the one who has some sort of character transformation to get there. And also, like, does she win the Rumble? Does she get the chamber match? That's the other story.
I think it also just freshens up the scene. Like, it freshens up Bianca, but it freshens up the scene because she's been a babyface for so long. And you look at the babyface depth chart, the crowd's clamoring for Naomi. They're not going with Naomi. They're right there with her, but she keeps losing all the big matches. But the crowd is getting behind Naomi. You can easily continue to get behind Naomi. Becky, we think, is coming back, probably going to be a babyface, right? Rhea, babyface. Charlotte, she's going to get a babyface reaction upon return. Now, whether or not they keep her a babyface or go to heel, we don't know. You mentioned, the Tiffany Stratton match, and, we'll see who is babyface heel in that dynamic. Bayley, babyface, always reliable, always someone you can really count on in that spot. Io and Dakota are now baby faces. Like, you can get a fresh heel. Granted, she's feuded with all these women who were heels, and now the roles are kind of reversed, so it's still a lot of similar matches. But there's just so many, like, they've got a good number of baby faces. The heels, you've got Liv, but they made her out to just be a joke so much. Liv was so character, and she was great. She continues to be great at the character, but they never presented her as like an in-ring threat as a heel, because she always needed Raquel, or she kept just taking like visual losses until she finally just lost the title. You got Nia. Nia always works as like a monster to heat up, but then they just beat Nia anyway. So how far do you really go with that? And now you've got Tiffany as the champion, and she works. Like, she works. But how far are they going to go with her? Is she just going to continue to be like a cheating champion type of person? So they could use a heel who is presented as an in-ring threat for this. And Bianca is very easy to present as an in-ring threat because she's a great wrestler. So it freshens up the scene a little bit and adds depth to the heel side, where I don't think they got a whole lot of depth right now.
You had mentioned the matches would still be kind of the same, but also they wouldn't, because the presentation of a heel and a babyface, that changes your match dynamic if you're a good wrestler who is working with a good producer and a good, wrestling in-ring mind. That's something that Bianca gets to work with if they turn her heel. She gets to do more heel stuff. She gets to be less babyface in peril. She gets to do less of the, cry selling with, oh, I can't believe I can't get the pinfall. She gets to turn her emotions around, and then her opponent gets to do the same. And I think that is useful to have. I don't know what we'll do if they go that route. Again, this is all stuff that's been discussed. It's nothing that's official. It's more just a conversation that has been opened up. But of course, when Fightful Select reports it, it means that there are very credible conversations and serious conversations about it. So worth putting out there as well. Ten Ruza adding Triple H doing the HBK Triple H SummerSlam 2002 build with Jade and Bianca. You want to fight? That was my favorite theme. When wrestling had rock music in it. He could be. I don't know if he's doing that, though. Shawn Michaels is too busy super kicking other guys.
I don't know what they're doing with the Jade stuff. Again, it feels like they're just trying to hope you forget about it until she returns at the Rumble, and then they'll maybe pick it back up with that.
Yeah, we'll see where that goes. The other match, since we were mentioning Charlotte Flair earlier, is there's a talk of doing Tiffany Stratton and Charlotte Flair, who is set to return very shortly. She'll be in the Rumble, so there's a possibility that maybe Charlotte Flair can win the Royal Rumble, challenge Tiffany Stratton at WrestleMania. Again, these two people have been talking for years about the Stratton and Flair comparisons, both blonde beautiful women who work very hard and do a lot of insane moves. Hell, the prettiest moonsault ever. The Charlotte Flair, mostly a moonsault, kind of over rotates, but still gets the move. That's still similar. The point is, we're looking at a possibility of Tiffany Stratton versus Charlotte Flair as she returns to WWE after a long absence with that ACL injury from, what was it, December 2023, the end of the year. So, by the way, speaking of which, because that match was with Asuka, we'll have a report on Asuka later on FightfulSelect.com today. Best $5 in the business for another 3 days. So lock in now. Thoughts on Charlotte and Tiffany?
Can't wait.
Hashtag Charlotte, bow down.
Hashtag bow down. The Queen's back on Saturday, baby. Oh, she just comes in and just wrecks everybody. She throws that awesome boot, just kicks people right in the face. You know, I love a good kick to the face. That's what I want to see. Just come in, everybody try to charge at her, and she just boots all of them in the face, tosses them all over the top rope. Rules. Can't wait. Hope Charlotte wins the Rumble. Hope she starts number 1 and she eliminates everybody in 30 seconds. They get in, they get booted right over the top rope, like the old SmackDown games where you didn't have to like do these rope struggles and everything. They slide right in, you punch them right back over the top. That's what we need with Charlotte Flair. Bow down, everybody.
That shit I love. I love how you're like, I love a good pump kick, a good kick to the face, and also a good finger bite. I know you like that too. For me, I love a good dick kick. So that is our duality right there. You go high, I go low. We're fine. Everyone gets their way and everyone's happy. Tenruza mentioning the SummerSlam fight and Armageddon the end. Those were great themes. They were good. The end is here. That was a good song. They used that so many times.
Yeah.
But yeah,
they're gonna bring it back at some point. Triple H probably loves that shit.
They will, because that was where it all started for him. That 99, that's when they used it the first time. What happened at Armageddon 99? That was the beginning for Stephanie and Triple H. Bring it back every month. It's gonna be the end is near. The anniversary song. It's the end is near. Oh, that sounds awful. SummerSlam fight theme every year. The anniversary. That's not any better. Anyway, with Charlotte coming back, they definitely want to put a big emphasis not only on Charlotte because it's her, but also on Tiffany Stratton. She captured the title. I do like that they're not making Stratton look like she lucked into the title with Money in the Bank. They gave her the big win over Bayley in a long match on SmackDown, and they're setting up challengers. They're setting up opponents for her leading into WrestleMania season. So Tiffany Stratton has a bit of work ahead of her in proving herself further as a champion. That's more of an on-screen thing. She's not good at wrestling. She's got to be established as this big deal to get into a match with Charlotte where she is credibly facing someone who is a multi-time champion and a big star that people are so over. So I'm looking forward to seeing Charlotte back, and I'm curious as to what the reaction will be, because it feels like they're bringing her in as a heel, as a bad guy, which is something that I think is the right call. Bringing in Charlotte as a babyface never works because, again, robotic Charlotte does exist, and you all have to go back 5 years, go listen to Charlotte speak, try her hand at live promos. It was a time. It was a real time. Yeah.
She's going to get cheered at the Rumble. That's the thing. Like, she's 100% going to get cheered. Heel Charlotte, we just know what we're getting with that. She's very good at it. I like when she just is like, I'm not going to apologize for being the best and having all these accomplishments and everything. It's like, hell yeah. Tell all these people how great you are. Make them hate you. But like heel and heel with her and Tiffany, I don't know how that plays. Like, how are you doing that? Charlotte just being like, I was you before you. Everyone just sees the blonde hair. You're just a carbon copy of me. I accomplished in 1 year what it's going to take you 5 years to do. But then Tiffany can say, oh, I'm the youngest Money in the Bank winner. There's like two hateable characters.
It's going to be,
I don't know how that works.
It's going to be, I have the pedigree, you're the facsimile. That's going to be the line that they're going to think is going to hit. Because she is the daughter of a very celebrated wrestler for his time in the past, not now. And then she is the one who looks like her and has said many times that Charlotte Flair has been an inspiration. It is almost teacher and master, which is a weird thing to think about given the age difference, and B, just the idea that, like, didn't Charlotte just come in? No, she's been with the company for 10 years. Like, she's been around. But yeah, Tiffany's newer. It is student master. That might be how they do it. And Charlotte being like, no one can top who I am.
But student master is 2 heels. I just don't know how it works.
You can babyface Tiffany Stratton with a bunch of really strong title defenses where she gets a big win and beats them from underneath. I mean, they might just do Nia Jax again, and that's, you know, if anyone beats Nia Jax, they're a babyface. That's how it works.
Yeah, true.
She knows what she's good for. And like, again, the match against Rhea Ripley on Saturday night's main event kind of proved that Ripley was already over. Like, don't get it twisted. But you're going up against Nia Jax. You know the reaction is going to be boos. You know that the other person's going to get cheered. And it's a hot match. It's a good match. They had a good one on Saturday night's main event. And like the 2 Riptides, it looks impressive. So now Tiffany's got to find a way to be impressive against someone like Nia Jax. And stuff like that kind of cements her as a strong champion, as someone worth getting cheered for. Again, Charlotte Flair, win the Rumble or win the Elimination Chamber?
Charlotte should win the Rumble. Again, just kick everybody out of that thing. She's won an Elimination Chamber, right? That's in.
Has Charlotte won an Elimination Chamber?
If not, they'll give her that accolade instead. But I feel like she's won.
Oh, I don't know, actually.
I'm looking it up. Are you looking it up?
Yeah, I'm looking it up too. I'm also Googling it, so it's probably not the best. You're going to get it faster.
No, she's never competed inside an Elimination Chamber.
Oh, she winning this thing. Winning this thing.
Yeah, they'll have her win the Elimination Chamber now.
Okay, well, there you go. So who's going to win the damn Rumble? Is that Bianca?
I guess, yeah.
Damn, okay, I don't hate it. Then you got to really put the Jade story into overdrive, or at least start
Not really. I mean, yeah, you have to put it in overdrive. Like, they got until, I guess, Mania, but you've got to at least mention it on television. I think Jade comes back at the Rumble. I think Jade's back at the Rumble. I think she targets who she believes got to her. I think you're going to get a moment with like Jade, Bianca, and Naomi. And Jade is very pissed off at the whole situation. And she kind of goes after them, but her blindness, like her blind rage at Bianca and Naomi, costs her, and she ends up getting eliminated. Maybe by Tiffany, maybe by Nia, one of them. Maybe she just screws up and she goes for her pump kick, and Bianca ducks and she heads over the top rope. But I think you're going to get a moment at the Rumble with those 3.
I can see that happening. They should do that. They should do some sort of moment between the 3 of them. I think that'd be interesting. Tenry's asking surprises / out there entrance you want in the Rumble. Since we're talking about the women, we may as well discuss in the women's Rumble. I would like to see Victoria. She showed up recently on WWE television. The other one is Jazz, and I'm using that because, spoiler alert, she did show up for a Knockouts Battle Royal on TNA at the tapings this past weekend. Jazz would be fun to see. So yeah, those are my 2. How about you?
For the women, I do hope the Nikki Bella rumors are true. I hope we get a Nikki Bella pop, because I like and if Brie can show up as well, that would be great, both of them. But I've been watching The Traitors. Nikki Bella's part of that. The last I saw of her, she was locked in a coffin. Hopefully she survived that. No spoilers, please, everybody. But Nikki Bella pop would be good. Lay Cool. You know, Layla's mentioned maybe wanting to do a comeback. Layla's somebody who hasn't like done that stuff either. Like we've seen in the past, like Tori Wilson's done her spot. Michelle McCool's done her spot. Kelly has even done like a spot. Like we've seen a lot of people return. Layla is one of the few who hasn't like had that return pop. Obviously, if you got AJ Lee, like having her in there would be very fun. But I think Layla is kind of the one that can be a one-night appearance, because if you're bringing Nikki, I think people might expect a little bit more, especially with the reporting out there. If you're bringing in AJ, I think people might expect a little bit more because it's AJ. if it's Layla, you're probably just, it's kind of a one-off type of thing. So I think Layla would be fun.
You just know that CM Punk is going to bring AJ to the Rumble, and just to get the rumors going, just to get the people riled up, because he knows.
Picture.
Yeah, because every year before Punk came back, it was always, maybe Punk. And this could be the year where he gets to turn it all on its head and just screw with everyone and bring AJ Styles, AJ Lee with him. Oh my goodness. The men's Royal Rumble. Who would you like to see? I saw Johnny Knoxville in the chat and I thought that was funny.
Hell yeah.
I still put out Joe Hendry. He didn't announce it officially, but I would like to see him come out as the TNA World Champion and have his spot. I'm sure if he does, he'll do a thing with John Cena, so he can say he got in the ring on John Cena's retirement tour, and then we can never talk about it again. How about you?
Monty Brown.
Hell yeah. Put him everywhere. Would he be Monty Brown, or would he be Marcus Carvon?
Nah, I'd be Monty Brown. Pounce somebody over the top rope. Rule.
Cardona in the mentions. I think Cardona would be a really fun shout. I'd like to see him have his moment. And he'd come
Cardona or Zack Ryder.
That's the thing. I'd like to see him come out as Matt Cardona and have that moment. And you can have someone be like, "That's the former Zack Ryder." He did it. Like, let him run down his career path since leaving WWE. Let them celebrate that. Sometimes people come back and they're just fantastic. JBL shows up and he does all the powers. He showed up at a damn Matt Green. What? Is that Matt Green is that Matt Cardona, but he's Zack Ryder. I don't know. JBL showed up at a local
AML
and he did the damn thing again.
He spoke with Psycho Boy Fodder, multiple times spotlight guest Psycho Boy Fodder and Angelina Love. He whispered something to them. I know what was whispered, but I can't tell anybody.
Oh, put it in the private chat. I need to know. Nope. I need to know.
I tell you, I've been sworn to secrecy.
Just let the secret out, buddy.
Nope.
Secrets are meant to be shared most of the time. Tenriza sends a super chat saying, "What old pay-per-view or show theme would you want to come back?" Oh, do you have one? I got
cool for the summer. Don't tell your brother. Don't tell your mother. We're cool for the summer.
What about
I think these are the lyrics. I actually don't know the full lyrics.
What about Up? I know that was your favorite.
Yeah, and I'm up, and I'm up, and I'm up, and we up, and we up, and we up, and we put this pussy on your taste buds, because we up, and we up, and we up, and the ass bouncing pop up, and it's up, and it's up. That's the lyrics, right?
If those were the lyrics, that is probably why you only got to hear "up" when it's up, when it's up, and it's up on the actual promotional stuff for WWE.
You heard that new song by
the
Sexy
answer.
Red
No, absolutely.
And Bruno Mars?
Oh Jesus, no! I like.
You heard this song? Chat.
No, I have not.
Put it. Let me read you these lyrics, Joel.
Oh, Christ. Can you read them like you're Gilbert Gottfried?
Nah, I can't do that. I'm not that good. So, this song is called Fat, Juicy, and Wet.
Come on, man. We're just recycling themes. What are we doing here?
All right, everybody. This is going to be the Dynamite theme for the week.
Wow.
This
is
Sexy Red's verse. All right. Pussy like weed, pussy like dope, pussy like cocaine, put it up your nose. A, slob on my clit, suck on my toes, 24 karat, pussy drip like gold, throw my legs back, eat my booty from the front, milk mustache on your face when I come, hit it from the bottom, hit it from the top, pop go the pussy, because the pussy say pop.
Jesus Christ. I'm also glad.
Verse 2.
Oh no.
Verse 2, everybody. Bust down, middle part, badass bitch. You ain't never had punani like this. Titties on your forehead, titties on your chin, titties on titties with my big titty friends. Do it sexy, do it sexy, do it. Do it sexy, do it sexy, do it. That's actually a hot part on the song. Arch your back, put your ass into it. Pow! Squirt in your mouth, squirt in your bed. Coochie water autograph. Sign sexy red.
That's the theme. That's the theme right there. That's the clip. I feel bad for anyone who listens to our show on speakers in a public space, like for these moments. I could see someone be like, oh shit, oh fuck, oh shit, grabbing their headphones, like, ah! Get them in on time. Like Ken saying, I'm glad I have my AirPods in at work.
This song rules.
My God.
It's catchy as hell. I'm not gonna lie. It's catchy.
Yeah, Tenruza, you did this. Never forget you caused this. Well, the Dynamite theme this week is for you.
Oh man, I heard this song. Bruno Mars don't miss, man. Bruno Mars rules. I didn't even sing Bruno Mars part, but
don't need
those
to.
are the first. That's the sexy red verses.
Oh my gosh. My two songs, by the way, were Broken by 12 Stones. That was the Judgment Day 2002 theme, and then Sold Me by Seether, which was the Bad Blood 2004 theme. Those were my two. Not as fun as the, yeah, that's why I'm just kind of
Seether and Broken Stones ain't got good pussy.
12 Stones, and probably not.
Whatever.
At one point, they were bringing in all these hard rock bands, and then they all turned out to be like Jesus rock bands, and I was like, oh, son of a bitch. Can't listen to any of this. It's just awful. Anyway,
it's hard rock when you got wet pussy.
Well, I one of them actually causes the other in some cases. If you smell, oh my gosh, I can't. I feel weird being like Toni Storm, right? Because like, I feel like we should probably tackle the thumbnail at this point. But also,
transition,
there's no good transition here without sounding gross. Sorry, I just respectfully. Oh gosh. Timeless Toni Storm is back.
You couldn't come up with anything else. You couldn't there's a million things to talk about. You couldn't transition to Saturday night's main event. Gunther and Jey Uso.
No, because we are past that time. I usually try to go 45 minutes till the thumbnail. Now at this point, we're over an hour, so we probably had to do that. So yeah, like Toni Storm wants to rip big titties off. Like she said it herself at the end of this. So it works. It works. She's just as sexualized as this whole song thing that you just read. So really, we're synergizing. We're working together here. Come on, Timeless Toni Storm is back. This okay, here's the thing. This segment was no, I was just about to say this segment was fantastic. It drew back to when Timeless took in Mariah May, like almost bar for bar. It was good stuff. I loved it. I understand, and I think a lot of people are kind of in the same vein that you did it now, and it's not a bad thing. I think the surprise was good. It was unexpected. At the same time, what happens at Revolution now? What's the match for Revolution? Because it is 2 weeks after Grand Slam. That's my one quote unquote concern. If you're going to talk about like what I don't like about this, however, it was good. The reveal was good. The way that they did it was good. The beatdown was good. The comments were good. Like Mariah May looking like stone cold, didn't give a shit about this Toni Storm, didn't care until the reveal. The acting was good. I spent a lot of time talking on this show about when the reveal, how the reveal, and what it could lead to. Maybe I'm just bought into my own shit, but also, again, I like that they did it now, but now I just wonder what happens after Grand Slam Australia. Like Greg Carter is saying in the chat, it's maybe a non-finish at Grand Slam, but if you do that, then I really hope that the tag match is the main event, or that the Jay White match, if they do Jay White and Mox for the title, that's the main event. Like this was the first match that was announced for Grand Slam Australia, which leads a lot of people to assume it's the main event. Not always the case, but the actual segment itself from Homecoming Collision, which makes sense. Again, it's Homecoming. Like that's Toni Storm's. The first Homecoming is this. The second one is Homecoming to Australia. Now the third Homecoming is going back to LA, maybe as champion Timeless Toni Storm, or to win the title as Timeless Toni Storm. I wonder if that all plays into it. The fixtures of where they did these moments. What did you think of the Timeless Toni Storm return? Was it too soon? Was it on point? Like, give me your thoughts going in and out of this Collision.
Segment was fantastic. Everything about the segment was great. Toni Storm was great. Mariah before beating down Toni was great. Her reaction when Toni became timeless again was great. But everything was great. I'm going to look at this from a kayfabe perspective. From a kayfabe perspective, why would Toni do the reveal now? I saw people like quoting Art of War. I'm like, you guys are thinking really deep about this.
But they're not, because whenever you have to think about these storylines, you have to think about RJ City, who's been working with them on this. And if RJ is a part of it, then you got to go, then all bets are off. You screwed. You got to go way off the brink with RJ. That's the problem.
Okay. So let's think deep and let's quote Art of War and everything.
Okay.
Why would you still do this 2 weeks out though? If the goal is like, we're throwing Mariah May off for a game. Well, now you've told her 2 weeks before the event. Like, she has time to prepare now for Timeless Toni. Like, it would have worked better the week of. Then she would have had less time to prepare for the timeless version of Toni Storm. So I don't even buy that as the argument of, well, this is why she did it so early. That's the only thing, is I do just wonder why she did it this early instead of waiting until the week of, or even just showing up at Grand Slam and being timeless again. Like, I think that could have worked as well. Maybe we'll get an explanation on Dynamite. I'm not ruling that out. Like, they still got time to continue forward with things, but everything they did here was fantastic. Like, everything was great about it. I like the reveal. We knew Timeless was coming. We kind of talked about that. Oh, Toni Storm is just playing the character right now. She's just playing the old version of herself, because even though the first, when she was Toni Storm, she did the thing like that, and then she caught herself and she's like, oh, no. And then she decided to be rock star Toni Storm. She came down, she did the hardcore emo crying that Joel loves, instead of
God damn it.
Timeless crown. She went, yeah, rocker Toni, like that. So the segment ruled though. Toni Storm was fantastic here, and again, Mariah May was fantastic here. The only thing I question, and maybe we'll get an explanation off of this, is why do it this early? Because if the goal was to throw Mariah May off, well, you've still given her weeks to prepare for a person she's already beaten, mind you. Like, she beat Timeless Toni Storm. So in that sense, like, Mariah shouldn't be too baffled at like, oh, I'm getting Timeless Toni. Well, I've already beaten Timeless Toni Storm. So, okay, fine. You're Timeless Toni Storm. You've given me now weeks of a heads up that you're going to be a person I've already beaten. That's my only question about it. And hopefully we get an explanation. I don't want to hear the argument, oh, they shouldn't have been on Dynamite. Why'd you put this on Collision? That's a stupid argument. That's dumb. I think that's very dumb, because you can't say, oh, put stuff on Collision that matters, and then they put stuff on Collision that matters, and then be like, oh, this should have been on on Dynamite. The Rampage argument actually worked, because you basically told people that was a dead show. And we knew the show was coming up at the end of the year anyway and wasn't going to continue forward. So the Rampage stuff, I understand a little bit more. Collision has always been your 1A kind of show. I know Dynamite has been the more prominent show. Like, that's just always been the case. So I understand it feels like the bigger stuff happens on Dynamite. But they've always put kind of 1A storylines on Collision. They've done a lot with the Copeland and Death Rider stuff on Collision over the past week. That's theoretically your top stuff, because the World Championship is involved. So complaining that, oh, this should have been on Dynamite instead of Collision, that's a stupid complaint to me. And we're not going to have that.
No, and I agree with you. This is something that could easily be on either show. I think Sean had even mentioned, the deal is for 2 equal shows, not an A show, not a B show with WBD and AEW. Like, the idea is you have 4 strong hours of television. And again, the last few weeks of Collision, they've had a lot of strong moments. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that every moment of each show is strong, but I'm going to tell you when they have good stuff. And this was one of them. Social Speaking on YouTube, this was their highest viewed segment on Collision for AEW on YouTube. 335,000 views. The next one up, believe it or not, is the Hobbs and Big Bill brawl, and that was a hot brawl too. That was a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, it did not need to be specifically on Dynamite. Would I like to see them bring it up on Dynamite and show us a clip from that? Absolutely. Will they? I don't know.
I would assume so.
I know
it's a big miss if they don't.
That's the thing. Like, historically, they don't always do it. This is one time where I really hope they hit it, and they tell you she's back, and maybe it's a return. Maybe they're going to announce that Toni Storm is going to have a timeless Toni Storm returns to the ring on Dynamite. They could do that. That's a hot Dynamite TV match that you could have. So my hope is that they do. As of right now, again, this is their highest rated segment on socials, and it did really well on other platforms other than YouTube. So it's good. There's a lot of really strong storytelling coming out of this. I think the question just remains, was it too soon? But this was a good show to do it, because I think maybe in Tony's mind, the timeless Toni Storm character has been such a strong AEW character that rewarding it on a show like Homecoming is like the moment itself. And if that's the reasoning and that's what he gives, and like someone's going to ask in a post show or a pre-show interview or setting, someone might ask just about like the return of timeless Toni Storm.
Sure, but I don't care about that.
Around it. I get that. But I'm saying if that's what he says is the reasoning, then like, great. I just nailed it. That all in, not the show, all into what I'm talking about. This was objectively the way to go. Subjectively, whether or not this was the right time, that's the larger conversation. And it's fine on Collision, because Collision has had some strong shows. I think really the bigger pushback from others about it being on Collision is because it was running opposite Saturday night's main event. But I mean, as hyped as that show was, I don't think people were like super duper expecting a big thing out of Saturday night's main event. Like, it was a solid house show format episode of WWE television. Like, it was fine.
This is where you can't worry about what WWE is doing on their show, though. Like, who cares? Like, next week you're running against the Rumble. You shouldn't just punt on that show. Just run your show. If it's good, people are going to find it and they're going to enjoy it. Just like, we saw with the social numbers on this. It was good. So people engaged with it. People praised it. If it's good, then everybody's they'll find it. So they should not worry about, WWE's running, so it's going to hurt things. Just run good stuff. Because if you punt on it, that tells people, hey, this show actually isn't all that important. Why should we watch? And that's how you lose viewership. And we've seen they've had a tough time after losing, like retaining or regaining that audience. So if you tell people, hey, stuff is important on this show, even though WWE's got stuff going on. Okay, well, now I'll watch it when WWE's not on, because this is the wrestling show that is on. Or I will go back and I'll rewatch this stuff because there is important stuff happening. I don't care that Saturday night's main event was on. I like that I didn't have an issue with them doing it on Collision. I didn't have an issue with them doing it head to head against Saturday night's main event. The only thing, it's not even an issue. It is I'll wait for an explanation of why would you do it this early in a kayfabe sense? Like, what is the explanation for doing it this early instead of waiting until the week of? Because now Mariah May has time to prepare, and she knows she's facing timeless Toni Storm, and she's not like super caught off guard from it. Hello, Sean.
Good morning.
Little do you guys know, I'm breaking some news. It is a double swerve, because in Australia it will be Time Cop Toni Storm showing up.
In our bits. I took our bits. It's fine.
That was my whole pitch at the beginning. That was my whole pitch.
I was asleep. I was in bed.
I mean, the beginning when like Toni Storm came back as Rocker Toni Storm, that was you liked that tweet. I'm pretty sure you retweeted that tweet where I was like, she's playing Time Cop.
Brother, I got over 400,000 tweets.
As people like to point out to you on the daily.
Yeah, it's not like I've retweeted everything in the history of Fightful and the Fightful Select account or anything, but interviewing PCO today, that should be something.
Oh,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be something. I'm going to send him the StreamYard link, but yeah, just got back from Vegas. God, the weird end of Twitter was being weird about that one. The tourism board brought me out and brought me and Denise, fella from WrestleZone, Bleacher Report out. And basically it was like, here's some cool stuff that you probably have never experienced in Vegas type of trip. And it was very nice. They treated us very well. Stayed at Resorts World. They gave me this hoodie.
That is a very Resorts World Vegas hoodie.
You're right. It is. It is. But like Glenn Rubenstein, who's a good friend of mine, he used to host the Wrestling Inc. podcast. He lives in Vegas. I showed him the itinerary and he said, this is like punishment. He's like, this is a week's worth of stuff in this short amount of time. Because I was hoping to like see Glenn, and Vinny Pacifico was out there, and Adrian Hernandez lives out there. I was hoping to see some people. There was no time to see anybody. It was insane. And if you all ever wondered what going on vacation with Denise Salcedo is like, it's like going on vacation with your little sister. Such a tourist, that girl.
But she's taking selfies and pictures of everything. Oh, yeah. I'm sure she did live streams.
I was basically her cinematographer throughout that experience. Like,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, because she was vlogging it. I'm going to write something about it. But it was like very good trip. Went to Circa as well and saw like their sports book and all that. Bet Online hit me up. What's the hold up? But there's so many cool things that we got to do. It was a good experience. And now I'm eating chicken fried rice.
Wow. Did they have chicken fried rice for you in Vegas to eat?
So they had the itinerary, including the dinners, all set, right?
Wow. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. And for the last one, they hadn't nailed it down yet. And I was like, please, can we leave this hour open so I can just relax? And I was in bed. By the time that dinner would have happened, I was in bed. It was right after Saturday night's main event in Collision. I had already ordered a nice steak, ate it in my room, and went to bed because I had to get up at 4 a.m. local time for a flight.
My God. I've never done a 4 a.m. out of Vegas flight. My flights are usually like the red eyes at 12.
Which,
at like midnight.
So Lexington, I was adamant I wanted to fly in and out of Lexington because beautiful airport in the sense that I can leave my couch 25 minutes before my flight boards and I'm okay. Like, I'm all right. But it's the Allegiant flight, the vacation flight, and it only flies Thursday, Sunday. They want you to get in, get out either for the weekend or for the week. Like, that's the way it is. So that was my only option. But I just stayed on Eastern time as best I could.
Okay.
That helped me immensely with the second London trip a couple years ago, because then when a fight breaks out backstage at AEW, all those British gentlemen are asleep and going to bed soon. And I'm like, what do I care? It's like 6 p.m. where I live.
I could. My body has always been good about adjusting to time zones wherever I am. So whenever I hear people be like, I'm just going to live on Eastern time zone, I'm just like, bless you.
Yeah.
Do it. Go for it. But for me, the only one that does it is Pacific. That could suck.
This is a very accurate reflection of of all that. And by the end of the trip, I was like, okay, what angle do you want me to film this from?
You're learning.
Yeah.
Sean,
one that makes her look taller, Sean. One that makes her look taller.
But I mean, I also know she'll do some she filmed everything. Let me tell you how terrible this girl is at Topgolf. So with all these events, like we have like a tour guide, right? Like she lapped me basically in the golf score. Like I think it had 21, 22. It was sincerely the best round of mini golf I ever played. Very consistent, 2s and 3s all the way. They had a loop. They had the Tony Hawk loop. Well, this is before we found out there was a 6-stroke limit. It took Denise 12 tries to get it through that loop. And then on the second course, somehow she missed the loop altogether and just knocked it over the barricade into the other place. And we're like, okay, let's take it. She almost struck a man. Just knocked it, and it went off, and it hit a net like a foot from a guy. It was insane.
Why is the ball flying up in mini golf?
Well, listen.
It's typically just supposed to stay on the ground.
Typically, yeah. But
listen, I'm not going to say her name on here. She is very Jeremy's wife pilled when it comes to mini golf.
The only person to get a hole in one. True. Yep.
Sydney, our tour guide, she got 2. So we didn't get any. But also true. Listen, sometimes that technique works. Then Top Golf happened. I went about 8-2 on Denise there. Went on a hot streak to end the day. Won like 3 or 4 straight games overall. We had a gentleman named Drake there. It's a good time. It's a good time. The Sonic game at Top Golf sucks. Like, it's such a crapshoot. Like,
did you lose that one? Is that why you don't like it?
Yeah, of course I did.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Anything that required any discernible skill, I did okay at. And our tour guide hit a golf ball like everybody assumes they can hit a golf ball and can't.
You'd think they'd had a lot of practice, but I guess that's not the case.
You'd think.
Yeah.
Guys, it's lovely seeing you. I'm going to be at the Royal Rumble this week. I leave on Thursday. I was going to leave on Wednesday, but switching that up a little bit. I'll be doing some interviews and the like there. But yeah, I just want to say thank you to a lot of you who were very cool on a very difficult week. I do want to bring that up. Ibu will be joining me at the top of the WWE Monday Night Raw show. We're going to discuss like some of the stuff that went down with him this week. And then I will be doing the Raw review myself immediately following that. This Saturday, I've got Phil Lindsay of Grapsity and Iridian doing the post-Royal Rumble show. I mean, Phil has been such a wonderful anchor like on these post-PLE shows when I've been out. So just wanted to show them some love as well. But guys, it's always great to see you.
And you.
Thanks for inviting me on.
I mean,
You're always
you just gotta show up. You know
I'm glad he got the black shirt attire.
Yeah, you got the memo. Good.
Yeah,
Good. Yeah.
He got that anyway.
So he has access to the show. He literally like.
That's what I always tell people who have access. I'm like, if you have the link, like you're always invited. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, want to come on today? Want to come on today?
Well, if you just want to, talk shit or promote, you can do either. If you have the link to the show, I don't think we're talking, any edge, but like it's a static link. It's the same one all the time. It doesn't change right now. It will if the wrong person gets their hands on it. But
yeah, then we might have to change it.
Well, even
I just always assume like Cam's gonna show up at any point, and you're like, oh. Yeah.
So, and sometimes Cam will say like, "Hey, got a minute for me?" But like 9 times out of 10 these days, he just pop in, just, do his thing, and that's cool. He's always welcome. As is again, anyone who has that link, pop in, man. This is what this show is. We are morning show format. We talk to each other, but also like we like to talk to other people because we talk to each other too much.
Yeah.
Let Corey be on the show. That's not happening. Some people don't need the link. Corey is one of those people.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Timeless Toni Storm, but I think we kind of got to the end of it by just we talked about the reveal and then kayfabe, how that looks, and also what happens with Revolution. And does Mariah May win? Does she not win? Do they do? This is my big concern, and this really is capital C concern in terms of wrestling because I don't fucking care. They do the Timeless Toni Storm win in Australia, and then they do like the Timeless celebration at Revolution. They don't actually do a match. I really, really hope they do not do that. They've done that that's the problem though. They've done it with Mariah May before. That was her shtick. And if they're just going to mirror what Mariah did, which is mirroring what Tony, like, I just want a match. I just want matches. So I'm hoping that they don't do that, and instead they decide to have an actual, match and then a match 2 weeks later.
Somebody did say in the chat talking about when Mariah turned on Toni, which was right after the Own Heart win, and people, I think ourselves included, was like, oh, did they do this too early? And Mariah's explanation was basically, I used you for everything I needed. And maybe Toni goes with the same explanation of like, well, I got my title match, so now I accomplished what I need to accomplish as Toni time. So now we're going to go back to timeless Toni Storm. And again, maybe that is her explanation. I don't fully love it, because why couldn't you have again done it the week of to really throw Mariah off a little bit more? But we'll see what they do. I'm willing to wait and see what the explanation is. I'm just analyzing it from what we saw on television. Those were it's not even criticism. It's just hey, why did this happen? Now let's see if they give an explanation.
Yeah, and also I don't think criticism should be seen as a negative thing all the time. I think it should be seen as something that can be worked upon, or at least given some sort of credence in a larger conversation, because that is what we're doing. It's not a bad thing. You're asking the question. That's it.
My hope, Joel, is that Tony Khan, who is now in the weeds creatively, not in the weeds on this show,
the man ripped us off. Someone, by the way, shout out to the person on Fightful Select who said, "What does in the weeds mean?" And I replied, "It means Tony Khan is listening to our Monday morning show."
My hope is that Tony Khan actually does listen to this show. I hope actually nobody listens to this show, but he does. And he starts addressing these things, and he's like, oh, you know what? We should address this, because if they have this complaint, maybe others will have, or criticism, maybe others will have, and we should address this. And we know Jeremy, not Joel. We know Jeremy is coming from a place of love and care and attentiveness. Joel he's a hater.
Can't confirm, but hey, Tony, if you're watching, DM Jeremy and say I want on the show. You know what? You don't do your busted open gimmick anymore. Bring it to us. Bring it to In the Weeds. We can start having Tony time here. ITW, the T can stand for Tony, in Tony's Weeds. We'll talk about it
in Tony's Weeds.
In Tony's Weeds. It's like in Flanders Fields, but even worse. Okay, in Tony's Weeds. That'll be our monthly segment. Tony talks about whatever's coming up in AEW. We can push back. We have a lot of fun with it. Let's go. Let's fucking go. Comes out with his mug, his LFG mug. Did you see? You didn't see that, I assume.
What if you'd ask Tony one question, just one? What would you ask him?
We already know the answer to how many cups of coffee.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, you can ask him again, but
what is the most played song on your Spotify playlist? Right?
Really?
Now? Yeah, I think I want to know that, because I feel like, and if it's I'm so excited by the Pointer Sisters, will not be surprised whatsoever. I'm genuinely curious about that. Or I'll probably talk about theme songs, and I know that's a big Mikey Ruckus thing, but specifically the money and the resources that go into financing some of these theme songs, because like we mentioned it, Orange Cassidy has 2. They got the Pointer Sisters, and like, how long is that lasting? Did you get that in perpetuity, even though we've only run it one time on 1 week? Like, what does that look like? I'm curious about some of that stuff.
I would do what Bargov says. I'd just pitch him all of these ideas. Tony, let me tell you about this idea. It'd be a big pitch meeting for me.
That's not a question.
Have you thought about Detective Danhausen, Tony? Let me tell you about Detective Danhausen.
Get a supercut of our best AEW ideas and just put them up on the screen, and we'll set it to the Pointer Sisters.
So Tony, Max has a violin. All right, he has a fiddle. Okay. And he's going to play Jon Moxley for the soul of AEW. What do you think about this?
And okay, Tony, and here's the kicker. And this guy's name, this guy who's had time call, his name is Max Cocker. What do you think? It's great, isn't it? Tony just be like, yeah, I think that's a lot of great things. And I think that AEW is having a run of great ideas right now.
Michael started counter every time he say great. So when Sean interviewed Tony Khan at the All In Countdown sale thing, and I did the transcription for the interview, and I texted John. I was like, Tony said great 50 something times. And he's like, did you count? I was like, yeah, I transcribed the whole interview. So I ended up counting how many greats there were.
I think on the notes on Select, it actually says how many times he said it.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
That was my note then.
I'm going to see if I can find it because I know it was in there. Oh, man. But yeah, I would love to see him on the show. That'd be hilarious. Tony Khan and Collision. That's from April 27th. When did he do the interview?
I forgot when it was. November, December.
Yeah, it's probably. Hold on. Can you show me newest first? Okay, apply the filter. I need Tony Khan interview notes. No, okay, I can't find them. They're not showing up right away.
Oh, we'd 100% pitch him on Time Cock. 100%.
Oh yes, that we have to do that.
I'd ask him about what did you think when South Park made fun of Time Cop? And Kyle was like, I don't want one copy of Time Cop, much less 3. How did you feel when you saw that episode?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I can't find any of this stuff. But yeah, if you go back and you find the transcription from Patreon, you'll see it. Sorry, from Fightful Select. Oh my god. I'd love to see Tony just show up. Because you know what? I would want to ask him about a little bit about the idea of creative building champions versus building challengers, because we saw the 4-way on Collision, right? They did the 4-way with Deonna Purrazzo, Queen Aminata, Serena Deeb, and Yuka Sakazaki, and like those are 4 women who are most recently on AEW TV specifically coming off of losses, and now the 4 of them are competing in a number 1 contendership match for the TBS title, and they get to face Mercedes Moné on Wednesday. I was a little like, I saw it, and the first thing I thought was, all this because of the Deonna pushback, huh? And I just like kind of tongue in cheek, because I really, people know I like Deonna Purrazzo, and obviously we like her partner Steve Macklin. He's fine, but yeah, there's just there was pushback this week about Deonna not being on TV, not being given many opportunities, and she wants more, and she has made it clear that she wants more. Fightful Select had reported on that, but yeah, they did this 4-way, and I'm wondering what goes into the building of their challengers vis-a-vis the building of their champions, because Mercedes is building, like they keep giving her these opportunities, and she keeps having the promos. They did the stuff with Harley Cameron, but like the challengers aren't picking up wins to declare their intention for championships. They're, in this case, winning a 4-way just to get a title match. I'm curious about what goes into their building of those 2 solid arches. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, that would be a question Tony may or may not have an answer to.
He'll have words about.
Well, that's a great question, Joel. Well, you see, Yuka Sakazaki and Deonna Purrazzo and Queen Aminata and Serena Deeb, they've been great challengers in the past for AEW Women's Championships. Yuka Sakazaki has challenged for the AEW Women's title, and she's challenged for the TBS title. And she'll be challenging for the TBS title this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite against Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné has been a great champion for AEW. She's been the TBS champion for over 6 months now, Mercedes Moné. She's defended it against great challengers like Chris Statlander and Willow Nightingale and Britt Baker. She's had great matches against all of these people. I don't know if he'd mentioned.
Maybe. I mean, historically, it's accurate.
Yeah. She's been a great champion for us at AEW and TBS. She's been the face of TBS. You know, everything changes with Moné. Moné changes everything. I don't know if you've heard about that one, Joel, but we're going to have a great match between Yuka Sakazaki and Mercedes Moné this Wednesday on AEW Dynamite. That's it. That's his answer.
We got a super chat from Margie Loves, shooting my shot. Hashtag ITW Rumble. Remember, if you are joining us late, you want to set it up. We're doing the ITW Rumble again. Set it up.
We are at 11 entries right now. If you would like to enter the ITW Rumble, send us a super chat. Use the hashtag ITW Rumble. If you want to wait until Friday, we will be doing like non-super chat entries on Friday. If we have spots, if we've got 30 super chats by Friday, by the end of the show on Friday, then those spots are filled. We'll draw names and numbers on Friday's show. Whatever number you get, that's the number you get for the men's and the women's Rumble. And if your person wins, we'll get you something off of WWE or AEW shop. Or you know what? If you want to support an independent wrestler, more than happy to do that as well. We're going to put like a $40 limit on whatever it is, so we're not spending $500 on title belts, but yeah, we'll get you something off of one of the shops or an independent wrestling shop.
If you're listening to us after the fact and you want to get a super chat, or you want to do the monetary entrance, I also turned on super thanks, which is just you can donate money after a stream, and it shows up on our comments. We can comment on it, and also I can pick it up and send it off to Jeremy, or Jeremy can see it and add your name to the list. So yeah, super thanks have been turned on. That is something that some channels do, some don't. I turn them on because sometimes people are watching us after the fact. They comment. Some people want to show some love because they're not watching live or they can't do a super chat. So super thanks is an option for you to show your financial love to us if you're in that realm. Otherwise, just you can comment. That's cool. I still read the comments. If you're being a dick, I don't really keep the comments. But
Joel will be the one who will keep up with the super thanks.
Yes, I'm the one who moderates.
If you do that and it's missed, blame Joel.
That's fine. I'm the one. I'm going to see them. I see all of them. I see all. I know all. What else is there from Collision? The parking lot brawl. That was a lot of fun.
It was a fight. Wasn't really.
It was a brawl fight throughout the arena and into the crowd and into the building, and it was fun. Listen, Powerhouse Hobbs is going to win the Ring of Honor World Championship, probably at Revolution in LA, so that he could do it on his not home soil, but close to home soil.
Big Bill's never been in like a fight in school because that man did not take his backpack off. And that's why he got his ass kicked by Hobbs. He walked up with the backpack. So that restrains like your movement right there. That's the first thing you learn in a school fight. You take that thing off before, you start walking up to people. Make sure you got enough distance so they can't hit you as you're taking the backpack off. But you got to get that thing off so you need to restrain. He had a jacket on as well. He walked into that ass whooping. I got no sympathy for him.
I think Jericho may have put him up to it.
Jericho set him up?
Yeah, I think Jericho
take off your jacket and your backpack.
Yeah, he didn't say don't do it. He said, you know what? If you want to win a fight, this is how you show up in your leather jacket and your backpack, and you look intimidating, and that's how you win. And I am the learning tree, and I know everything.
Nah, Chris Jericho came from hockey fights. He would have known better because he would have known like, oh yeah, they're gonna pull that backpack over you and start just hockey punching you. Chris Jericho would have known better. No, I'm with you. I'm with you. By the way, who said it? Bargov. Yeah, that was I agree. He probably wasn't in many because who's picking a fight with that guy? But that's where he was. Powerhouse Hobbs just as big, brother. So he's ready to pick that fight. Big Bill's got to learn.
Large William will come a long way learning how to fight the next time. Lab Glass sending a super chat. ITW Rumbly in my tumbly.
Got you, Lab Glass. All right, we got 12. We're almost halfway full.
That's wild. People, we're going to have one hell of an ITW Rumble. If your person wins, you're going to get that merch of your choice up to $40.
Or if you want to donate to a good cause like we did last year.
You are welcome to donate to a good cause. That's right. We did have someone do that last year, which is very much appreciated. And Jay Hayes, no sympathy for the Redwood. ITW Rumble. You're in, baby. Why would you? Come on. You got to feel a little bad for the Redwood. Redwoods get old. You chop them down. Don't want to chop down the Redwood. But this one probably will go down. He did go down. Let's face it. Jericho's going to drop that title. And then the next streaming platform that picks up Ring of Honor is going to be big. I'm not talking out of school. Chris Jericho did talk to Sam Fishman, mentioned that. Did I say, what did I say?
You said Sam Fishman.
Sorry, Scott Fishman. My God. Who's Sam Fishman?
I have no idea.
Someone I went to school with. Sorry. Scott Fishman.
Doxing Sam Fishman of Toronto.
Spoke to Scott Fishman. TNA legend, by the way. I spoke to Scott, and it was a very good TV Insider interview. Jericho mentioned that there were some streaming platforms interested in Ring of Honor. So there you go. Put it out there.
I'm sure there are, but
Jeremy Garsaki, is this your entry to the ITW Rumble? You do not have to send another super chat. Just say in the chat if it is or is not. But also, I like your avatar. Sam Fishman for the Royal Rumble. That's right. With the spelling wrong and everything. Anything else from Collision that is worth talking about? There was 2 backstage segments that we should probably bring up, and maybe 3 if you count the Costco guys are back, baby. Boom! Press the button. Press the button in time. It's just mixed up. Boom! Love me some Adam Cole. Boom, baby.
Boom!
Those guys were there too. Hell yeah. Okay, yeah. Jeremy's part of this now. Add him
All
to
right.
the list.
16 spots remain. Declare for the ITW Rumble, everybody.
My God, we're getting more declarations for this Rumble than the actual Royal Rumble in and of itself. Good for us. Good for us. The Grace actually said just as loaded as the actual Royal Rumble. More people here. The Costco guys and Adam Cole. It was inevitable. Are they going to be best friends now?
That was a fun little segment. Costco guys are going to wrestle at Revolution. See what they set up on there, but we'll see.
Costco guys should win the trios titles with Adam Cole. Adam Cole filling in for the Rizzler, apparently.
Poor Roddy and Kyle O'Reilly. They just tossed aside. It's a shame.
Oh, Ryan Lambert's in the chat saying points to the Mana Bottle ITW Royal Rumble. The winner gets The Rock and the Mana Rumble at Mana Mania.
Mana Mania. Oh, man. So we talked about this a little bit on Friday's show. So the Australia show coming up. I've added you, by the way, Ryan. So the Australia show coming up.
Allegedly. We don't know where to watch it yet. Or when.
Yeah, we still don't know where to watch or when we can watch it. We know where.
It'll be on.
Oh, let me check. Hold on.
Oh, we had to check. Yeah, check the.
Let me check the schedule.
Now we should be in the window to see.
We might be breaking news here, everybody.
Oh my God, let's go. I would love to break some news on this channel. Get a big short out of it. That Alexa Bliss short inevitably did well for us because it's Alexa Bliss.
10:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, February 15th. TNT is scheduled to run All Elite Wrestling Collision.
Which
so I'm going to assume, I don't know this for certain, so I'm not going to write an article on this, but for those out there, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, TNT is scheduled to air Collision. So I'm going to assume that's going to be the time slot for Grand Slam. And that may not mean actually 10:30 because that's going to be contingent on how long All-Star Saturday goes for the NBA.
It's going to start at 12:30 a.m.
It won't go that late, but it could start legitimately like at 11:30.
Remember when they did the Dynamite that came after one of the NBAs and it was at Daly's Place? And wasn't that the Andrade debut? It was like the middle.
Oh, yeah. That was during the pandemic. So my memory is terrible on that. But yeah.
I just remember I was reminded of this recently and I was like, man, that was snakebit from the start. I hope they don't debut a wrestler at Collision, at this Grand Slam Collision event. That's all I'm trying to say. But with that in mind, Mac Caster put out a challenge. Do you think this is a debuting wrestler coming out to challenge him, or is it going to be like Serpentico or the returning Angelico, who said he's close to a return as well?
I don't know.
Part of me is thinking it could just be Speedball, and he says, I'm actually the best wrestler alive. And he takes the paper and rips it up. Maybe he eats it. That would be fun. I think, I don't know, why wouldn't he eat it? Speedball's the type of guy who would eat paper. But yeah, what do you think? Who's Caster's opponent? Who do you think should be the first opponent?
Bowen should just come out and beat him in 30 seconds.
Kick him in the dick, get the pin, let's go. I'm fine with that. And the last thing from Collision that I want to bring up was there is a fifth man, or a sixth man is really what it should be.
Yeah, sixth man. Yeah.
Goldberg. Goldberg's not the sixth man. Goldberg versus Caster would be hilarious. Who is the last member of the Callis family, or the latest member of the Callis family? Who could it be?
Well, people are speculating it's a Trent return because he was aligned with the Don Callis family before his injury. I don't know if he'll be back. I mean, that was like July he underwent surgery. That was neck surgery. Like, that's not something you play around with. So I don't know how really cleared he is for that, or if they get someone new. Maybe it's Mark Davis. Maybe they'll follow up on the Mark Davis stuff.
Wow, Aussie Open joins the family. Okay, officially they would be both in the family.
Yeah.
What if it's PCO?
What?
Big menacing member of the family.
What?
That's a trio right there. PCO, Lance Archer, Brian Cage win the AEW World Trios Championships. Come on, Don Callis family reigns again. They could be on top of everything. Let's go. Are you writing it down because you think it's going to happen?
What? No.
Are you writing this down like it's an article that we're going to put out there? PCO joins Don Callis.
PCO? No, stop it.
People saying
Stop.
Bishop Dyer.
I'm gonna trash bin this idea. Actually, it's so terrible.
It's not a serious idea, though.
No, I feel like you are being a little serious here, Joel.
I'm really not. Don wouldn't be doing an interview with PCO if PCO was going to AEW tomorrow.
You are way. You are too. So what do we? This is PCO in the Don Callis family.
Yeah, do you want to do PCO joins Don Callis family or PCO joins AEW? Because I feel like both are bad.
Well, he's turned down AEW 3 times.
Allegedly, yes.
Yeah. PCO and Don Callis family. We're putting that one in the
Come on, DCO.
I call him DCO, is that what you call them?
Don Callis 1.
Don Callis 1.
Isn't that the jet that Don Callis uses? It's PCO on DCO. Now it's not such a bad idea. Harley Cameron should be a part of the Don Callis family. That should be the one right there.
No. Why?
Why not? What if it's Jack Perry? What if it's Jungle Jack joins the Callis family?
Do they remember he's still a thing?
I don't think they do. Do you think he comes to TV? Do you think they know?
Oh, what Tom Pestock.
Oh,
Bishop Dyer.
I'd hate that so much. Bishop Our whole conversation from today would be absolutely moot.
Well, he doesn't want to just be a WWE guy, so he's gonna be part of Don Callis family, you know?
It's true. Get Preston Vance in. My God, that's an idea. Yeah, who knows? I just thought it was an interesting piece to Collision, but otherwise Collision was it was a solid show. Some good wrestling, some good stuff. I hate AEW, so it's fine, says Henry. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And Ryan Adams sent a super chat saying, oh, he's part of the Rumble. ITW Rumkey.
We are halfway. Half the spots have been filled up now.
And Ryan adds, I was wondering if Sheamus
over halfway. Sorry.
Yeah, we got to be 17 now, right?
We're 16. We're 16.
My God, we're over the halfway mark. Yeah. I was wondering if Sheamus does win the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania, how many talents have won all 3 men's singles titles at WrestleMania? Well, first of all, Sheamus got to go to the back of the line because he's a big old loser again. Can't win a title to save his life. Jesse Ventura ain't going to save him now. But otherwise, who else has won those titles at Mania?
Cena's won US and World at Mania, but not Intercontinental. I mean, it's got to be a pretty short list. Like, to win 3 titles at WrestleMania, there just hasn't been. That's what we're talking. We're talking US, Intercontinental, and
US Intercontinental Champion and World title.
Okay.
Warrior?
I mean, there haven't been that many United States title matches at WrestleMania to begin with. So you're looking at basically who's won those matches at WrestleMania, and then you're looking at and then shortlisting it from there.
Yeah, I don't know who fits in there. You're starting world title, or you're starting with the US title?
I'm starting with the US title.
Okay.
Because that feels like that's gonna be the shortest list.
Okay.
Is the US champions. Because we're just talking WWE. I mean, you can look at the history of WCW, but obviously nobody in WCW won the title at WrestleMania. So
has Randy Orton ever won the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania?
So yeah, John Cena's won the US title at WrestleMania, but he didn't win the Intercontinental title at WrestleMania. JBL won the US title at WrestleMania. I don't know if He didn't win a world title at WrestleMania, though.
He didn't? No, Edge beat him that year.
No. John Cena's won the U.S. title twice at WrestleMania. Look at them. The GOAT for a reason. KO's never won the world title at WrestleMania. Jinder, he never won the world title at WrestleMania. Sheamus, we mentioned he needs the Intercontinental. And that's it. So, yeah, it would just be Sheamus.
My God.
All right, I went through the list, everyone. Like, that's all for winning the titles at WrestleMania.
Yeah, because, like you said, the U.S. title will be the only one that matters in this case. Whew. Crazy. Saturday night's main event was a show. It was fine. It had good wrestling. Jesse the Body Ventura was there. He said a lot of things.
He's bearing everybody. It ruled.
It ruled. I do wonder how much time he spends with the commentary team before the show, because like it was a little awkward at times. Jesse like repeating shit and then commentary not really doing much with it, so he just repeats it again until it's like he wants to do a bit, but he doesn't know that they're trying to do a bit. So Jesse's just kind of there. Him getting WWF and then censored was fantastic. And this show was fine. Like it was just a good wrestling show. I think Jey Uso and Gunther had a solid match for the main event. And my main question coming out of the show is, does Gabriel Iglesias live on the truck now? Because like he's at every WWE show. It's kind of weird.
Him and Vanessa Hudgens are about to dominate the next version of Mixed Match Challenge.
Seriously,
they're gonna run through teams.
I could see them going far in that thing. Who would they face in the final?
Doesn't matter. They're taking the L, brother.
Jimmy and Naomi? Is that how we're going to do that? It would be Charlotte and Andrade.
Yeah, KO ruled wearing the Naomi shirt on Friday.
Yes. Oh man, there was it was. What do you think of the title gimmick? The contract signing.
You were right that they hung up the belts, but now it's going to look really awkward when Cody just comes out with the title anyway tonight on Raw. So
I don't think he will, because they did play it up as like it's going to be awkward when they not that it was going to be awkward, but they played it up as Cody getting a little misty-eyed at the idea of having to give up the title for the next day. But when they did this was hilarious. I'm like, wait a minute, but the Royal Rumble's not happening here. Why are they hanging it up here? That doesn't work for anyone. But look at Cody. KO, this is good blocking, by the way. Cody looking at the titles. He's so upset that he's given it up. KO staring a hole at Cody because he just wants to beat that shit out of him. And Shawn Michaels is looking at both men simultaneously. Sorry, I had to say it. But this was a good segment. I don't really love the part where Shawn Michaels comes in and projects his old man shit on it, but it got its point across. It was funny. It was a good segment, but no titles.
I thought Kevin was good. I thought everybody was good in this segment. Sean threw the sweet chin music. I'm sure Kevin loved taking that. Now Kevin's like taking a super kick, taking a stunner. Like, good on Kevin getting those little moments in there for the old wrestling fan in him growing up. So it was a good segment. Dude, Cody's coming out with that title. Are you kidding me? He's gonna wear that title tonight.
I don't think he is. I really think they're gonna open Raw with the titles hung above the ring, and they're just gonna be hung above the ring like at Money in the Bank when it's Money in the Bank season and the two stupid briefcases are hanging there the whole time. Same thing. I like this, man. Elliot Fletcher saying, "I bet they're glad they're not going to get harassed by CSA."
I hope that they needed a crane to take them down, and then the crane drives cross country from Texas to Indy, and just has the title still suspended, and then it drives into the stadium, Lucas Oil, and then make sure they're still suspended over there. I hope that's what happens. I feel like that'll that's what needs to happen to honor the titles being hung up. Don't take them down. Take the crane from Texas to Indy.
Oh shit, we lost one of the belts. No, that's fine.
Falls off the road.
They can't even take most of the highways because they can't do the overpasses. It's too high up. What are we gonna do?
Lower it a little bit. You should lower it. Title scrapes on the
against the pavement.
Yeah. Sparks flying. What is that? That's just the WWE crane. They got the titles on in the front there. It's fine. It's not a fender or anything. It's good. It's good.
In case you didn't know, WWE is on fire. So are our championships.
Yeah, they lose one of the titles. They got to call the local Texas roadhouses. Like, hey, have you seen another title? Have you gotten a few years ago? Remember when they lost that? Well, it happened again. Different company, but it happened again. Just keep an eye out. All right, keep an eye out on the side of the road if you find this title.
Dale, it happened again. The wrestlers left their title on the roof. Stupid ass wrestlers don't know what they're doing. What happened to the Von Erichs? They never lost their championship title belts.
It's fine. It's the Winged Eagle one. Just get another one from WWE Shop. It's okay. It'll be belts, all right.
They're all over the arena. Just grab one from there. We'll use it tonight. Tenrys is saying my dream is a 3-way unification TNT Continental Championship and Intercontinental Championship. My God. Or international, not intercontinental. You'd make it the Intercontinental Championship. It would be the Inter TNT Continental Championship.
Who are all the champions? Oh, Takeshita, Okada, and Daniel Garcia. I remember these things. I knew who it was. Yeah.
The Garcia one was what I was afraid of back when belts were men.
I remember Garcia. He was on the show this past week. He was in Losing Ass Tag Team.
Got to bring back the daddy. Anyway. Such a weird idea to do that. Anything else from Saturday night's main event? It was, again, just a solid 2-hour wrestling show with nothing going on. You did move some stuff forward. Again, Sheamus shouldn't be challenging for the Intercontinental Championship anytime soon. And same thing with Jey Uso. I like that Gunther after the show he sent the tweet out saying like, back of the line, leave me alone, stay away from me. Get a job, stay away from her.
Should have put the title on. Old Jay.
People would have been feeling a certain way.
Cowardly. They would have been happy. Who cares about the online reaction? Oh, the super kick merchant is the champion. Dude, go to the arena. Who cares?
Yep. That's who we're booking for. Filling up those arenas with 15,000 people. By the way, WrestleTix putting out that Elimination Chamber right now is they've distributed 26,520 seats. That is Elimination Chamber. Like, again, it's a Road to WrestleMania show, and that's something, but like, come on, that's crazy. They're set up right now for 30,000. They are probably going to hit that when they start announcing matches. Rumble's going to hopefully bring in more people. It's crazy to think about. And I am hoping to be in the press box for that show because I've never covered at the Rogers Center a show. So it'll be fun.
Well, I don't know if you heard about this, Joel, but it's John Cena's last time ever in Toronto. He's getting deported after this show.
When he leaves, they're revoking his visa.
Like right when the show ends, the cops are going to come out. The Mounties are going to come out and be like, Mr. Cena, you hands behind your back, please. They're very kind in Canada. Hands behind your back, please. Sir.
Not really. But anyway.
Well, I was trying to give you a little credit.
Nope. It's okay.
Please.
If there's one thing the Mounties are always going to do, it's get their man.
This is your last time in Canada? How's my Canadian accent, by the way? Is it okay?
Awful.
Okay.
Awful.
All right.
Just not
please, let's get across the border and we'll return you safe and sound back to America. Thank you. Thank you for visiting the great country of Canada.
A. You want to add an A while you're at it?
Dude, I hit the kids yesterday. You know he's in a bunch of commercials, right? He does a bunch of like car commergons and
That's
stuff.
true.
I feel like he's selling like Ram trucks or some shit. I don't know what John Cena's selling.
It's the most John Cena thing you can do is sell a Ram.
Yeah. And the kids are watching
your loved ones afterwards. Sorry, go ahead.
The kids are watching football with me yesterday, and John Cena's selling whatever Dodge Ram to Toyota that he's selling. I was like, oh, hey, that's John Cena. And like, oh, really? That's John Cena's voice. I was like, yeah, you can't see him. And they started laughing. And they were like, oh, like the wristband. I was like, yes, exactly like that. Exactly like the wristband.
Awful. Anything else you want to mention?
Dad jokes, Joel.
Oh, I know. I make them all the time, on and off air. Anything else from Saturday night's main event?
No. Do not make fun of my Canadian accent. I feel it's very good.
It was awful. By the way, Maple Leaf Pro's coming back in March. They announced they're going to be at St. Clair College again where they were in October, this time March 14th and 15th, which is that the same weekend as TNA Sacrifice? That would be hilarious if it was. Whoop, that's 2020.
You're supposed to know the TNA wrestling schedule, Joel.
It is
How
the
do you know?
same. It's the same weekend as TNA
Ooh.
Sacrifice. Friday, March 14th. It's a special. It's a plus special. Who gives a shit? Yeah, March 14th
Yeah,
and 15th. Well, it's just going to mean contracted talent are going to have one thing to do or another. It's fine. PCO can be on the MLP show.
PCO headlining. That's what they should bill that show as. I know I'm stepping on Sean's interview on at 1 o'clock here. I don't know when it's actually going to air, but I'll have first listen. I'll probably listen to it live and transcribe it. But they should just bill PCO unfiltered thoughts on TNA live Maple Leaf Pro March. That's it. It's just 1 hour. It's a one-man show. PC one-man show.
PC one-man show. That's wild and stupid. I love it. Oh god. Anyway, so yeah, if you're in St. Clair College area in Windsor, there's a show you can go to in the middle of March. Anything else to plug for today, or can we call it home time?
Raw tonight.
Oh yeah, we got to do the Raw thing. Yeah,
It's
Monday
the
Night
final show before the Royal Rumble. The final Raw on Netflix before the Royal Rumble.
The Royalist Rumble, the Rumbliest Royal. By the way, shout out to DS from Ring the Bell.
Oh,
Ring
yeah.
the Bell. Had the interview with Giselle Shaw, and Giselle confirmed something I was saying for a long ass time, which was, you're gonna do a tag team with Gail Kim, right? This is leading to a tag team with Gail Kim, right? And then it turned into they wanted to do a tag team with Gail
Gail Kim confirmed that a long time ago, Joel. Why don't you read stuff?
I ain't reading this shit. No, I'd rather hear from the person that I actually follow.
You don't follow Gail?
I actually do follow Gail. I just don't spend much time.
Yeah, she said this a while ago.
Not the same.
Okay.
It's different when Gail it's different when Giselle says it.
All right.
It means more.
All right.
World Tag Team Championships on the line on Raw. War Raiders take on Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Finn is still out. He's no longer in. Women's World Tag Team Championships. Bianca Belair and Naomi take on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. That feels like a match you shouldn't have when you know that Bianca and Naomi are doing a thing on Tuesday. But hey,
why?
The story's going to be what? Lash Legend and Jakar Jackson are going to be seated at ringside. They're going to be like, whoever wins this match gets these two. I'm sure they're excited. Then they'll hop the barricade. They'll do a thing. Blah blah blah. Here we go.
What if Liv and Raquel win?
Well, then strange.
Why is it strange?
I don't know. Kind of feels like you were getting to Bianca Naomi versus Lash Legend Jakar Jackson.
You can just do Liv and Raquel against Lash and Jakar Jackson.
Unless they're going to give Lash and Jakar the tag titles. I don't need that.
Well, they're definitely not going to do a double, back-to-back day title switches here.
Well, I don't know that.
Nah.
They could. Sami Zayn takes on Drew McIntyre. Stop me if you've heard this one before.
Yeah. This rematch booking. Gotta stop.
Well, I mean, at least they're making not sense, but at least they're doing something out of the finish from last week.
Well, Sean's saying that the match tonight is not a women's title match.
I mean, I'm inclined to believe that because why would you do that? But let's see what WWE is saying. Because what I'm taking from is our website.
Well, then I know who I wrote that, but it was presented wrong, and then I copy and pasted wrong.
Well, all right then. Yeah, I don't have this week yet. I know there's
it just says WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Bianca Belair and Naomi will journey to Raw tonight to take on Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez.
Is this what you wrote?
No, that's the WWE.com preview.
Okay, so it's not a World Tag Team. It's not for the tag team titles. Perfect, great. Yeah, that's fine. The tag title match is at NXT tomorrow night on Tuesday. Sami Zayn, Drew McIntyre. Like I said, at least they've spent some time to build that. Given what happened on Monday with Drew and Sami and Seth Rollins, they'll probably do something there. Cody Rhodes returns to Raw because they're in Atlanta at the Allstate Arena, not the Allstate Arena, the State Farm Arena. And Logan Paul comes back, good for him, and Roman Reigns will appear.
Our preview does not have that it's a tag team title match, by the way. So
I'm
what are
looking-
you reading?
I'm looking. You know what? I'm looking at whoever did the post show setup. Whoever did the post for the post show.
Okay.
That's what I'm taking from.
All right. I don't. Yeah. Okay.
I don't know who set that up.
Okay. Just want to make sure we got all the right information on.
Yeah,
Fight.
that's fair. That's fair.
If it's the post show setup, I don't have anything to do with that.
Okay. Well, I'm going back to this. Oh, that's just okay. Whatever. I mentioned everything. That's all that matters.
Okay.
Got it all.
Okay.
Are we looking forward to anything on this card today?
Cody Rhodes is going to come out and Steven Jensen's going to cry. And
He's going to cry. Is he going tonight? He said he's
yeah,
going.
tonight. Yeah, he's going.
Good for him. I know he'll enjoy himself. Yeah, Roman coming out. That'll be fun. Do you think Roman and Cody will have a moment?
I don't know if Roman's going to be there.
He is. Well, he's going to appear.
Mm,
He said they're doing a tribal acknowledgement ceremony, not legitimately, but like
no,
a segment at that show that he was on that I forget the name of.
that was the Netflix
The
premiere.
Netflix premiere. Yeah, he said he'll be there 27th.
No, he never said he'd be at Raw. He just said, like, I want to be acknowledged on this day. But he never said he'd be at Raw, and they're not advertising him. That's typically a thing. Like, if you're doing something with Roman Reigns, you're probably going to advertise that Roman Reigns is going to be on the show. All I'm saying is I wouldn't get hopes up that Roman's going to be there. Maybe he will be. Maybe he will be. But the segment was, when should we do this big acknowledge? The world should acknowledge you, my tribal chief. And Roman just said January 27th. He never said on Raw. And then they did the 2K teaser, which makes people believe that, like, oh, they're just going to announce him that he's going to be the 2K thing. I don't know if this is going to be a Raw thing or if they're just going to do it like at some point during the day. They're just going to be like, here we go. Here's Roman Reigns. He's the 2K cover athlete. So I'm not positive Roman's on Raw tonight.
He's going to show up. He's going to win the title. Everyone's going to be happy, and you're going to look so foolish.
That's fine. Like, it's fine if he does. If he's on Raw, like, cool.
He's going to win the
I'm just
Intercontinental
saying-
Championship before Sheamus does. That's what's going to happen.
I'm just saying they haven't announced that. Typically, if Roman's doing a show, they'll let you know Roman's going to be on the show.
But Cody's in town. That's all that matters. They've already sold the show. It's good.
Sure, but you got to sell viewers too.
The viewers are sold on Cody Rhodes. Roman Reigns is an extra.
Okay.
Tell them The Rock is coming.
Okay.
Is The Rock anywhere near Atlanta today? Someone
Mm.
track the Jets. DW1.
Yeah, people are saying
YouTube.
that like it might just be a video. Like they'll announce Roman as the cover athlete as a video, but he's not actually on the show.
Well, he'll appear, just not in person.
Okay.
There you go. Look at that. Middle ground has been found. Is there anything else from today we have to get there? No. Can there be a triple sellout? Yes, there can. It'll be in the arena, on the TVs, and on the monitors in the back. Sell out at the curtain, boys.
There you go.
Welcome to wrestling. All right. Jeremy Lambert said there's nothing else to plug, so I'm going to go at his word. If we forgot something, it's his fault. If you want to leave a thumbs up on the way out, go ahead, do that. Subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you want to get in on the ITW Rumble, hashtag ITW Rumble, super chats for now. Friday will be wide open. You want to leave a super thanks to get in on the Rumble or just to say thanks. We'll always accept that. But for Jeremy Lambert, I am at thejoelpro.com on Blue Sky. That's a mouthful. Ladies and gentlemen, friends, beyond the binary. We'll see you in the next one. Cheers.